All right, let's watch this.
Beat the Brits and secured independence. Now to expand westward and conquer the rest of the continent. Thomas? It looks like a bunch of different people already live out west. What? Oh no. That means we can't expand. I hate my
Just kidding.
life. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I didn't say they were white people. At the end of the Revolutionary War, when the United States secured its independence from Great Britain, the two sides met in Paris to settle the terms. Among various things, they discussed American territorial.
Nah, I like your Subnautica stuff. All right, enjoy the rest of your night, asshole. I'm glad I didn't ban that guy, dude. What a funny way to go out, dude. Just peace. Enjoy your fucking night, asshole. That's awesome. That was cool.
Real gains, and the British granted them a generous amount of land out west. However, Benjamin Franklin appeared to have an additional fascination. Oh, Canada. So voluptuous. You think we can maybe acquire some of that? Quit ogling our territory. But look at those curves.
I gotta pee.
I'd worry less about Canada's curves and more about your own curves, Benjamin. Many in America suggested that one day the Canadian colonies should become a part of the United States. In response, Britain suggested that many in America should shut the hell up. Well, if Britain wasn't going to give up Canada, then the two sides had to agree on where to put their border. Easy enough for the most part. Follow some existing borders, add in a few rivers and lakes, maybe even a parallel for good measure. But then there was a question. What would happen here? Straight line, straight line. And so it was. The border would go from the northwesternmost point of this perfectly oval-shaped lake and continue in a straight line westward until it met the Mississippi River. Perfect. Or was it? Well, as it turned out, the lake didn't actually look like this, but like this. And the Mississippi wasn't here, but here. So in the end, none of that made even the slightest bit of sense. Don't blame the Founding Fathers. They were just using the best map available. Blame the guy who made it. But to the minds of the day, the issue had been solved, and it was finally time to start getting along. Oh, back to war they go. The Glorious War of 1812 saw the Americans try to invade Canada, and the British burn down the White House. But when all was said and done, it was pretty much a draw. And once again, America and Britain had to enter into peace negotiations. By now, both sides realized the original border they came up with was a piece of hot garbage. And since America had also recently obtained a huge amount of land from Napoleon, they decided they would need to re-examine the border issue. Straight line, straight line. And so it was. To fix the problems of the previous border agreement, they decided to go from the northwesternmost point of this lake, as had been previously agreed, down to the 49th parallel, and from there the line would go straight as an arrow up until the Rocky Mountains. But beyond the Rockies, the two sides couldn't quite agree on where it would go next, because both sides claimed the territory beyond the Rockies was theirs.
By the way, this is unrelated. Noon time for TrueAnon is 4 p.m. This is a little unrelated, but kind of related. But did you guys know that Oklahoma has like a weird panhandle? Right? When you look at the state, you see that? That little weird panhandle, like it's got like a little wee-wee, like a little penis. Did you guys know why Oklahoma has that panhandle? I didn't know. Did you guys know? It was for slavery, we know. Texas gave that up so they could have slaves, dude. Damn, everybody fucking knew. Holy shit. Okay, never mind. We only know because of the viral thing you saw? HasanAbi's a Redditor. KKW. Wait, no, I didn't see it on Reddit. Was it on Reddit? I didn't, and I've lived there all my life. Dude, I know so much Oklahoma facts. It was quite shocking to me that this is one fact that I did not know. It was on Tic Tac. Yeah. Texas had to give that piece up so they could keep slaves. Who asked? I don't know. I mean, I talk about stuff that nobody asked. West towards New Mexico, which gives the states its familiar saucepan shape. Do the people that are from Oklahoma that live there, do they feel bad? Because, like, because, like, they hate Oklahoma and they had to give fucking land up for Oklahoma. I wonder if anybody lives there, though.
Yes, this shit sucks.
You know? Anyway, let's keep going.
See, throughout its early history, America as a nation had its eyes heavily fixated on all that juicy land out west, ripe for invasion. I mean, settlementation. America wanted to expand. Not only was it their right, some believed it was a destiny given to them by God himself to multiply and spread across the continent, like rats or disease. Okay, guys, just before we take over everything, God definitely said this is what we're meant to do, right?
Yeah, that's what he said, right? Isn't that what he said?
And who was it who spoke to God?
It was Billy, right? I thought it was Sharon's cat. I hear voices all the time.
Well, it was one of us.
Socialism
There's no
equals
way
good.
we made this whole thing up to justify a ruthless collective imperialist tendencies. All right, well, in that case, let's get out there and make the...
I'm a native from Oklahoma and they're trying to take my land away again, shaking my head. Wait, didn't they give you guys literally like fucking 50% of the state? What happened? I mean, like, I thought they did, like, Oklahoma low-key did some land back, I thought. I mean, that's where we left it. They're trying to take it back now? Wait, what the fuck? You can't do that, bro. That's you can't do take backs. What the fuck? Wait, hold on. Yeah, the Supreme Court in 2020 ruled that about half of Oklahoma is Native American land. That's where we left it off. Bro, have you heard of American history? I mean, yeah, that's true. Yeah. But like, this is kind of like, you know what this is like? This is like when you didn't want to go out, okay, but your friend's like, no, you got to go. We got to go out. And you're like, come on, I don't want to go out. And then he forces you to go out and you're like, we're going to go to this nightclub. And you're like, fuck, I don't want to go to this goddamn nightclub, dude. This sucks. This place sucks. I hate it. And then you go and then the bouncer's like, you can't come in. It's like, well, I didn't want to get flexed on, dude. You know what I mean? I didn't want to go to the nightclub. And now I'm at the nightclub and I can't even get in. I just got fucking flexed on for no reason. Okay? I mean, to be fair, like, you still do kind of want to go in to the nightclub at that point. Like, Supreme Court was like, hey, yeah, we'll give you half the native land. And then they were like, psych, just kidding, only to take it back again. Psych! While we're on this whole take back situation, can we have Mexico back? Do you think that Oklahoma is on the top 50% or bottom 50% of U.S. states? I think it's right in the middle.
Oddly
No, it's
specific.
closer to the bottom. No shot. Like literally the worst. It's the fucking incarceration rate alone makes it like one of the worst states in the country. It's literally just a prison colony.
Nice.
Oklahoma is just like fracking, earthquakes, tornadoes, okay, Native American territories, and just prisons. That's it. That's Oklahoma.
The world a better place, just as God intended. This belief in divinely destined expansion would later be given its very own name, Manifest Destiny. But America wasn't the only one interested in controlling the Western territories. At the time, Canada was made up of a number of colonies, collectively referred to as British North America. This one over here was owned by the Hudson's Bay Company, a British charter company dedicated to turning as many beavers as possible into as many felt hats as possible, as quickly as possible, and the indigenous people became a key supplier. As a result, the British were also eager to control the land out west and secure that region's valuable resources, and in particular, the Great Columbia River was deemed vital to the beaver business. So when it came to the question of what would happen to the border beyond the Rockies, the conversation went a little like this. The line should keep going straight because we're manifestly destined to gain the entire North American continent. No, we need this river so we can keep scalping beavers. Look, why don't we just draw the border along the river? That way we both have access to it. Well, that would be a completely fair compromise that protects the interests of both parties. And there's no way I'm ever going to agree to it! Having come to a roadblock, both sides simply agreed that for now, they would jointly occupy the...
Gonna have brain
The
rot
term
soon.
Indian giving is a horribly racist term rooted in oppression and colonialism. The state are Indian givers. I mean, yeah, don't say that then, you know? It is literally like the opposite. Dude. Elwig lost RPS again?
Come on, baby.
No shot. Yes, shot, actually.
If he hollers, let him go.
There's one thing that's never let me down, and it's this. Yes! Let's go! Let's fucking go!
Yeah, get fucked, dude. Get absolutely fucked.
Did I get you with paper 3 in a row?
I think so.
Come on.
Get fucking L'd, dude. Elwig. Bandy takes another L. Not good, dude. Not good.
The Northwestern Territory. They were both free to settle and trade there. But rest assured, the agreement was only temporary. Eventually somebody would get their way. Listen, Yank, we can jointly occupy this land, but I ain't sharing anything else. I don't want to see you using my toothbrush. I don't want to catch you wearing my underwear. And I don't want to catch you using my computer and selling my data to advertisers. Well, then you, my friend, should use NordVPN.
Oh,
Do you like giving strangers your
shit!
passwords to your most important online accounts? Me neither. Watch every single BT websites, and it's been blocked in your country. Go to NordVPN plus an additional month for free. And as always, you'll be supporting my channel. So thank you. Now where were we? Oh yeah. Bickering over boundaries, manifesting destiny, and a joint occupation of Oregon. And one man living here who felt the territory should be British was James Douglas, the Hudson's Bay Company's no-nonsense chief factor at Fort Vancouver. Ah, what a beautiful, unspoiled corner of the British Empire. I've got my spotted dick, my Spice Girls fan club membership, and an unrelenting negative outlook on life that affects everyone around me. What are you looking at, Stephen? Yes, truly British. What the? The problem for men like Douglas was that many Americans had already begun streaming up the Oregon Trail.
Luke's on setup is so fucking annoying.
Having by the thousands.
Every time it like moves around weirdly.
In search of land to settle and farm. This, however, crowded out the fur trade, and eventually, a very bitter Douglas and the other Hudson's Bay traders at Fort Vancouver were ordered to relocate north to a new base of operations. But the Americans keep coming and they don't stop coming. Hopped in their wagons and they hit the ground running. Didn't make sense to keep sharing Oregon when they outnumbered the Brits more than 6-1. And suddenly, the whole joint occupation deal was being called into question. Newly elected President Polk maintained that America had an obvious claim to the entire region, even implying a possible war with Britain. Fiery language from US senators declared that American rifles would annihilate the Hudson's Bay Company in Oregon, and America even gave Britain notice that it was pulling out of the Joint Occupation Agreement. The British were alarmed as the two sides stood on the brink of war. But in the end, neither truly wanted to fight. The British favored maintaining good economic relations, while the Americans had already gotten themselves into a war with Mexico. So after a bit of back and forth, the British finally said, "Fine, you wanted a straight line? There's your straight line." And so, the agreement was made. The border would continue directly to the Strait of Georgia, but because the British insisted they keep Vancouver Island, it would then move south through the center of the channel and on to the Pacific Ocean. Finally, the issue of the northwest border had been solved. Hold the phone. Discrepancy detected. Enhance frame, 200%. Enhance. Enhance. Oh, too far. Perfect. Now, show me the exact wording of the treaty. The line of boundary goes to the middle of the channel, and thence southerly through the middle of said channel? But there's loads of channels. So, you tell me, dear viewer, which channel is the treaty referring to? And therefore, who owns these islands? Is the wording of the treaty maybe a little too vague? Well, that's exactly the problem encountered by the people living in the area. The British insisted that the channel intended by the treaty was the Rosario Strait, and therefore, the islands were British. The Americans, on the other hand, argued that the intended channel was the Harrow Strait, and therefore, the islands were American. At times, the debate became rather heated. Even the individuals who negotiated and signed the treaty at times didn't seem entirely sure which channel the treaty meant, and representatives from the Hudson's Bay Company begged them to make it clearer. But thousands of miles away, the people in power simply had more to worry about than some tiny islands in the middle of nowhere. Order! Order! Shut up! All right, listen up. We got a lot to get through. The 7th Earl of Gissingham says he encountered a foul beast in the fields of Upper Fartingdom late last night and put this sketch together? That's a poor person, Darren. Ugh. Next, Lord Piddlingham says he has a new mole on his backside? How is that parliamentary business, George? Oh. Some islands in the Pacific Northwest are in dispute and could lead to a war with America? Boring! Fine, let's take a look at that mole, George. And so, for now, the islands were simply held in dispute.
How many more
Were they
months until
British
I have a bad take?
or were they American? I'm sure this conflict won't cause anyone to die. And one man who thought the islands were undeniably British was James Douglas, now the governor of Vancouver Island. He had already once had American settlers encroach on his territory and force him to move. And by golly, he wasn't going to let it happen again. As far as he was concerned, those islands were not only British, but prime agricultural land. And given the chance, those glubby Yanks wouldn't hesitate to start pitching flags with their glubby little hands. And so, he came up with a plan. If the British settled the islands first, then that would surely secure them for Britain. And so in 1853, Douglas sent an Irishman by the name of Charles Griffin, along with some Hawaiian shepherds, to go set up a sheep farm on San Juan Island. And set up a sheep farm they did. The place was rammed with sheep, 1,369 to be exact. But within those flocks of woolly cowards could also be found a number of beautiful, prized Berkshire pigs. Oh, Porky, you look stunning. You're the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. Would you perhaps like to go to the island ball together tonight? Oink once for no. Roll around in that cow crap if yes. Yes! I'm covered in poo and I'm the luckiest man alive! But life on the island for Charles Griffin wasn't to be a perfect paradise of pig pageants. Because unfortunately for him, the Americans also believed the island was theirs. One day, in 1854, an American customs collector was sailing around the islands on the outlook for bands of native tribesmen when he spotted something. Aha! I've got you now, you savages. Over yonder. Those are sheep, sir. Sheep, you say? What are they doing here? Let's go and negotiate with them. Negotiate with sheep? Are you crazy? I'm perfectly stable, you rat bag! Call me crazy again and I'll eat your eyes! Hello, good sir. We request to speak with your leader. Out of my way. Allow me to parley with this foul beast. threatening my sheep. Your sheep? You mean to tell me that you, a British subject, have illegally imported these sheep into American territory? I'll have you know that you, an American, are currently trespassing on British territory. The Americans felt that they were entitled to collect taxes on the British property, you know, because the island was American.
Absolutely preposterous that the British not only oppressed at the time the French, but also the Americans. Really fucked up. Solidarity to my Quebecois brothers.
American, and they threatened seizure if dues weren't paid. The British, meanwhile, threatened to arrest the Americans, you know, because the island was British, and the two sides were in a standoff. To give Charles Griffin the legal power to deal with the American trespassers, Douglas said, "Hey, put on this wig. Boom, you're a magistrate now." And in turn, Griffin went to one of his Hawaiian shepherds and said, "Hey, I'm making you a constable. Put on this badge." The British then went off to arrest the US Customs Inspector. But, being an American, he emerged from his tent with 4 pistols and a giant knife, so the Brits had to back down. Eventually, raids by northern tribes chased the US officer from the island, but the Americans weren't done yet. Officials from nearby Whatcom County in Washington Territory believed the island fell under their jurisdiction, and they decided it was time to make the British pay up once and for all. They sent one Sheriff Barnes to go confront Charles Griffin. "Hey, you owe us $80.33 for all this farm stuff you got here. Go suck an egg." Oh, I see. So that's how it is, huh?
Finally,
That's how it's gonna be, is it? That's the way in which things are, eh? That be how it will, is it? Will it be how that is, huh? That be the way in which things be the way they are, is that? Get off my property! So the sheriff and other Whatcom County officials felt they were now well within their rights to seize and auction off Griffin's sheep in order to recoup lost taxes. And who would they auction these prized breeding rams off to but themselves? Then, in a pretty chaotic scene, they worked to tie the rams to their boats. And when Charles Griffin came running to rescue his kidnapped sheep, being Americans, they pulled out guns on him, and he had to back down. In all, Charles Griffin lost 34 breeding rams, and he was furious. The British complained to the American government, who were shocked to hear what had been going on at their northwest border. And both governments told their officials in the area to back off. We're not trying to start a major war over some dumb sheep and a stupid island. But also, the islands are definitely ours. Under no circumstances let the other side have them. For now, both governments agreed to set up yet another boundary commission to decide which channel was the correct border. But it often devolved into petty bickering. The British did make one interesting suggestion, though. We could draw the border through this middle channel and split the islands between us. Well, that would be a completely fair compromise that protects the interests of both parties. And there's no way I'm ever gonna agree to it! And in the aftermath of the sheep raid, James Douglas, still stationed at Fort Victoria, became even more cautious of American encroachment into his territory. Mr. Douglas, sir, it appears an Indian has discovered gold in the Fraser Canyon, just north of here. Shut up! Keep your voice down, boy. We can't risk those glubby Americans hearing about this, or our territory here will be infested with them. Oh no! The Fraser Canyon Gold Rush attracted a heap of Americans to the region. Some got lucky. Most did not. And of those that didn't, rather than returning all the way home, many simply decided to settle in the area. And in particular, the juicy green pastures of San Juan Island were rather appealing. Believing the island was American territory, around a dozen American settlers moved there in the late 1850s. One of them was a man named Lyman Cutler, a young man in his mid-20s, and lazy as pie. He didn't want to have to clear a space in the forest to build his home, so he said, I'll just build my cabin right in the middle of this British sheep run. I'm sure that won't make anyone mad. When he planted potato seeds in his garden, rather than building a nice protective fence around them, he said, I'll just fence in 3 sides and hope all these British farm animals have a moral compass and respect my property rights. Griffin's pig was a Berkshire, well known for rooting, and Lyman's fairly pathetic fence made for a bad combination. Numerous times he had had to chase the pig away from his property, and he once angrily marched up to Griffin's home, saying, Hey, British farm idiot, keep your stupid pig out of my potatoes. It is up to you to keep your potatoes out of my pig. Griffin was furious with his new American neighbors. They built their homes all over his sheep pastures. And besides, what right did they have to be here anyway? It was British territory. Lyman, on the other hand, swore the local government had assured him his land claims were legitimate. And so to him, the British were out of line. Look at that sick freak. In love with his pig. Isn't that just sick? Yeah, what a freak. Not like our love, Spuddy. Ours is all natural. Yep, just a man and his potato. Nothing wrong with that. But the tension between Lyman and Griffin was just about to explode. What the? Spuddy? All right, you damn dirty pig. That's the final straw. Lyman shot the pig. After taking a second to calm down, he felt bad about murdering Griffin's prized boar. So he went to him and said,
Unacceptable.
"Hey man, look, I kinda just killed your pig. It was eating my potatoes again and I don't know, man, I kinda just killed your pig. Killed your pig. Killed your pig." You swine! No, the swine is the one I killed. I'm Lyman.
Another month, another sub.
Griffin
Sir.
demanded Lyman pay $100 for the loss of the pig, an outrageous sum at the time. Obviously, Lyman refused, threatening to shoot any more animals that dared enter his property, even threatening to shoot Griffin himself. When Griffin complained to James Douglas, British officials went and confronted the pig killer. Again, they insisted he pay up, and if he didn't, Lyman claimed they threatened to arrest him and take him back to Victoria. British officials arresting an American on American soil and trying him under British law? Now that's controversial. And it's a controversy that attracted the attention of an American general in charge of the Department of Oregon, one William S. Harney. This guy, General Harney,
right,
had a
almost 1 year,
reputation.
and he has right.
He's the kind of guy who invades Mexico without orders, wasting valuable resources and creating an embarrassing situation for everyone involved. He's the kind of guy who has one of his own men arrested for writing the wrong header on a report. He's the kind of guy who finds a dog digging up his yard and then chases it for 1.5 miles just to give it a beating. He hated superiors, hated being told what to do, and had been court-martialed 4 times for disobeying orders. Contemporaries described him as an imbecile, all matter and no mind, an arrogant humbug, and a laughingstock. Like I said, General Harney had a reputation. He hated the British and was out for any opportunity to earn personal glory for himself. By some accounts, he even wanted to become president. And so, in July 1859, when he happened to visit San Juan Island, and he learned of the plight of the Americans living there, the shooting of a pig, and the British threat to arrest Lyman Cutler, General Harney went into scheme mode. Hey yo, Captain Pickett. Yes, sir. Listen carefully. I need you to go pick up some flowers and bring them to my place later. I've got a plan. Here I am, sir. What's the plan? Pickett, you and I are going to start a war. What do you mean, sir? Okay, listen up. An American man shoots a worthless pig on San Juan Island, and the British threaten to arrest him. Outrageous, but we can use it. We get the settlers there to send us a petition saying they need American troops for protection. That's when you go with your men and occupy the island. The British will find American troops on an island they consider theirs so offensive, they won't hesitate to blow you to smithereens. Then, it's war. We bring in reinforcements and we fight back. I'll write to Washington, D.C., letting them know what's happening. But here's the kicker. My letter will take 6 whole weeks to get there, before the government even gets a chance to respond, telling me I'm an idiot and ordering me to cease fire. The island will be ours. Hell, we could even invade Vancouver Island or British Columbia. It's foolproof. Wow, very impressive, sir. But I gotta ask, why? Well, I'll level with you, Pickett. Historians still contest exactly what it is I'm trying to do here. It's possible I'm trying to expand America's territory. Maybe I'm trying to play the hero so I can become president. Some have even suggested that since I'm a slave-owning Southerner, I may be trying to create a diversion to help the South secede in the upcoming Civil War. But if there's one thing that almost everyone can agree on, it's that I'm an idiot. I see. But hold on, what'd you tell me to bring flowers for? Because, Pickett, they're pretty and I like them! There are also historians who believe that Harney and Pickett had no secret plan at all, and were not scheming masterminds, but simply hot-headed buffoons, genuinely outraged at the audacity of the British and trying to protect American citizens. But the fact of the matter is, Pickett took the very controversial and extremely provocative act of landing American troops on disputed territory. He set up his camp in a very exposed position and erected a very provocative sign proclaiming that only American laws applied on the island. It was almost like he was asking to be fired upon. Or, again, maybe he was just an idiot. When a British official sent to the island to get rid of the unruly American settlers now saw that there were American troops, he demanded they leave. He was obviously told to go suck an egg. When Douglas found out, he was enraged. To him, the American landing constituted an invasion. Harney sent a report back to the War Department in DC, justifying his actions with exaggerated claims of British villainy. But he knew it would take 6 weeks to get there, and another 6 weeks for their reply to come back. For now, the situation was entirely in the hands of local military and government officials, and the ball was in the...
I don't know if the British are aware of this because they're pussies, but it's called the concept of self-defense. Yeah. Perhaps they were just trying to protect private property. I know that you guys don't care about that in communist Britland. Yeah. Get a taste of America on that. Suck on that, dude. Yeah, manifest self-defense-tiny.
The British court. Would the temperamental Governor Douglas and the powerful British Navy respond to the American provocation with force? Were Britain and America really about to go to war over the shooting of a pig? Well, if one man were to have his way, it's entirely possible they would. James Douglas had already had Americans force him out of Oregon. They had threatened his position in Victoria during the gold rush. Now they had invaded his island, and he had had it. It was time to turn to the Royal Navy. You, Captain Hornby, go to the island and prevent any more Americans from landing. And take this magistrate with you to arrest Captain Pickett. Use force if necessary. Just don't do anything to start a war. Wait, you want me to use force but not start a war? Oh, I'm sorry. Is that too much to ask, Princess? When Captain Hornby got to the island and saw that the American force there was even larger than expected, his concern grew. He sent word back to Douglas, who in response ordered even more ships to the island. And at this point, the naval officers were like, hey man, let's talk. They were concerned Douglas's escalation was leading them to war, and they convinced him it probably wasn't a terribly good idea to just go up to an American military captain with his armed men and say, hey bucko, you're under arrest. Please don't shoot me. Douglas gave in. To prevent any hostilities, he canceled all orders and told the Navy, for now, to simply keep an eye on the Americans. He did send one more ship for good measure. Captain Pickett, now seeing the British ships with their guns aimed directly at his exposed camp, said, see Jeff? Look at that. We're about to get blown to bits, all according to plan. Hang on. Oh crap, Jeff, we're about to get blown to bits! Run! Pickett hastily moved his camp from its very exposed position to another position, which, as it happened, was also very exposed. It probably won't surprise you to learn Pickett came dead last in his graduating class. Nearby American and British officials began showing up to ask Pickett what the heck he was even doing. Then, a bunch of tourists showed up, because a major war breaking out in their doorstep was the single most exciting thing to ever happen in any of their miserable frontier lives. One Charles Griffin was particularly unhappy. First his pig had been shot. Now his sheep pastures were being trampled by soldiers and tourists alike. He complained to Governor Douglas, who was still pretty upset about the whole thing. Douglas felt British honor itself was at stake. So he decided that if American forces were allowed to be on the island, well then by golly, the British should be there too. It would be a joint military occupation. Upon hearing Douglas's new plan to land British troops on the island, Captain Hornby decided to go speak with Pickett in person. After informing him of the plan, Pickett replied that if they dared land, he would open fire. So there they were. The British had orders to land. The Americans had orders to prevent their landing. This was it. war over a small island in the middle of nowhere, over a pig and some potatoes, over whether the US-Canada border looked like this or like this. It was stupid. Hold on. This is stupid. To heck with it. I'm not landing those troops. I'm not gonna be the one who starts a war. The captain decided not to follow Douglas's order.
Pussy.
And good thing he didn't, because pretty soon after that, the leading British admiral in the entire Pacific region showed up. Rear Admiral Baines outranked Governor Douglas. When he heard of everything that had been going on, he was stunned. But when he heard that Hornby had refused Douglas's plan to land troops, Baines could have kissed him. Whether he did or not, history doesn't tell. But I like to think they did. The Rear Admiral canceled all of Douglas's orders and instead pursued a policy of not interfering with the Americans until he could contact the British government. The Americans, not knowing the British no longer intended to land, had sent reinforcements and began fortifying. But even still, the British Navy did nothing. And finally, when word made it across the planet, informing the two governments of the ongoing crisis, everyone was shocked. Holy crap! Harney landed troops on disputed territory? Man, I hope the British don't find out about this. Buchanan? Oh crap! The British! Why are we getting reports of American troops on San Juan Island? Whoa. I don't know, man. Nothing to do with me. But you're the president. What? Breckenridge? Am I the president? Yes, sir. And hey, we got a problem. It looks like the southern states are considering seceding. And we're headed for the biggest crisis in the history of the nation. And it's your job to fix it, sir. Sir? Oh no. Go away. Not the curtain again, Mr. President. I'm not here. Buchanan. Back in the Pacific Northwest, Harney was beginning to realize the government may not be terribly impressed with his reckless actions. So he began firing off even more aggressive letters, justifying what he had done. Tell him the British were sending bands of Indians to attack our men, and that they're big meanies with coal for hearts, and that they made me cry like a little girl. Wait, no, that makes me sound weak. They made me cry like a big girl. Yeah, that's it. When the president received Harney's new letters, his anxiety only grew stronger. Oh, crap. Hey, General Scott, please make this...
You guys are joking about the curtain thing, but like, remember when James Comey tried to do that? When meeting with Donald Trump, and like liberal media covered it as though he was like being fucking smart and doing espionage. FBI Director James Comey tried to hide his fucking 6'8" ass in the White House by wearing a navy blazer. When FBI Director James Comey tried to hide his fucking 6'8" ass in the White House by dressing up a suit that was the same color as the fucking drapes, and liberal media covered it as like as though it was like espionage. He's 6'8". No, that's Sean Spicer hid in the bushes from the press. That's a separate story. James Comey talked personally about how he like chose his outfit specifically so that he wouldn't stand out. Director of the FBI, folks.
Go away. Leave it to me, sir. General Winfield Scott was the commanding general of the entire U.S. Army. Well known for his negotiation skills, he was a veteran of the Mexican-American War, during which time he had had to deal with General Harney's idiocy and insubordination. And he watched as Harney got away with it all, thanks to his friends in high places. It's safe to say that Scott really did not like General Harney. By now, General Scott was racked with gout, and he was so big, he had to be hoisted onto his ship in a basket. Nevertheless, he began the long journey to the Pacific Northwest. Okay, everyone, get over here. Will somebody please tell me what the heck is going on? I'll tell you, General. It all started on one fateful day last summer. Spuddy? All right, you damn dirty pig. That's the final straw. What? Hey, you can't get away from me! Look at that pig. Nowhere left to run, eh? I'm gonna enjoy this.
Lyman, if you spare my life, I grant you 3 wishes.
So you see, General, the pig wasn't even on his property when he shot it. Liar! He's lying to you, General. I'll tell you what really happened.
13th dawn
What a
of war.
pleasant summer's afternoon here on my humble farm. It's just me and my beloved potatoes. I'm so happy. Say, Lyman, them some nice spuds you got there. Would be a shame if somebody ate them. No, not again, you beast! Leave my potatoes alone! Yeah, I'm gonna eat them, Lyman. I'll eat them, and then I'm gonna eat you. Stay back! I'll shoot! Go ahead, punk. Make my day. Shoot me! Shoot me! He made me do it! He made
Self-defense
me do
Andy,
it.
dude.
So you're telling me you guys nearly started a war with the strongest naval power in the world over the shooting of a pig? Yeah, now he's starting to get it. Not only the pig, sir. The British then threatened to arrest this poor, pure American soul. Thank you, General. Shut up. I don't care about you. Okay, I've made up my mind. You're an idiot. 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 You guys are fine. And you two are the most mind-numbingly brain-dead ding-dongs I've ever encountered in all my life, and I'll see you in my office. Okay, Harney, listen. I cut a deal with the Brits. Here's how it's gonna be. Both sides will maintain a small force on the island for a joint military occupation until our two governments can decide who owns the island. Now, the only way they'd agree to that is if Pickett is removed from
Don't they still don't know. Right?
command, so I'm replacing him with Captain Hunt here. Now, Harney,
Doesn't this still cause territorial dispute? Or is this a different island I'm thinking about? Like about fishing? Oh, that's on the East Coast. Yeah, that's right. You're wrong. I'm wrong.
listen to me. Do not, under any circumstances, put Pickett back on that island. Okay? I mean it, Harney. Do not order Pickett back onto the island. Understood? Yes, sir. Good. I'll see you, Glubos, later. Is he gone? I think so. Good. Hunt, you're fired. Pickett, you're going back on the island. All right, you psychopath. I've been waiting years for this. I hate you. I've always hated you. Harney had not only ordered Pickett back onto the island, but his department even notified the British that it did not recognize the joint occupation settlement, while everyone else had decided on peace. Harney appeared to still be threatening war. Needless to say, a furious Winfield Scott soon removed him from command and sent him elsewhere. In Harney's absence, the joint occupation went ahead, and the troops actually got along together quite well. The British attended 4th of July celebrations at the American camp, while the Americans visited the British for Queen Victoria's birthday. Even Pickett became good friends with his British counterpart. War, it seemed, had been avoided, thanks largely to the level-headed actions of the Royal Navy and General Winfield Scott. Of course, the islands were still in dispute, and the question of who exactly owned them still had to be answered. That answer would have to wait, because while San Juan was at peace, the nation was tearing itself apart. When civil war broke out in 1861, the issue of San Juan just wasn't that important. Harney, despite being a Southerner, remained in the U.S. Army, but was eventually removed from command at St. Louis when his loyalty to the Union came under suspicion. More famously, Captain Pickett, a native Virginian, went on to become a Confederate general. Pickett's charge at the Battle of Gettysburg remains one of the most famous moments of the entire war and marked a major turning point. U.S. relations with Britain actually soured during the war. The British, missing their supply of southern cotton, initially looked like they may intervene on the side of the Confederacy. There was the Trent Affair, when Confederate diplomats were discovered and arrested on a British mail steamer. And then there were the British-built ships sold to the Confederacy that wreaked havoc on northern commerce. When the Civil War ended, furious American politicians called on the British to pay reparations. And by now, a long list of hot issues existed between them. And yes, on that list remained, 12 years later, still the issue of who owned these gosh darn islands. That issue, it was finally agreed, would be submitted to international arbitration. The Empire of Germany would decide, with the British and Americans presenting arguments. The American argument was reportedly presented with a little more pizzazz, a little more zing. And in the end, when the Germans made their decision, they awarded the San Juan Islands to the United States. When an aging Douglas heard the news, he said that there was no possible way the British argument had been presented correctly. But that was that. The British conceded. And on the 25th of November, 1872, the last British troops left the island. As the Americans entered the British camp to raise their flag, they found that the British had removed the flagpole. One last up yours to Uncle Sam. By this time, Charles Griffin.
Story great because, you know, American conquest lights my heart with fire against, against Britland. But also, on top of that, double warms my heart because homie was trying to be a debate lord. Yeah. Always fun. Watch debate lords get owned.
Had already left the island, and the Hudson's Bay Company eventually sold their sheep farm. And so, there you have it. A dangerous situation that almost brought two great powers to war, triggered by the shooting of a pig. But thanks to more level-headed minds and an eagerness for peace and cooperation, conflict was avoided. And the only casualty of this pig war was, well, just a pig. But how different could things have been? What if the British had attempted to arrest Pickett? What if they had landed troops? Could the two sides have actually gone to war? Could America have invaded Canada? Could it, perhaps, still invade Canada? Think about it.
That's right.
Why not? We have the manpower. We have the arms.
That's right. They're just standing there. Free real estate, motherfucker. Get fucked. And the moment that we invade, okay, all the Canadian chatters, the moment that we invade, let me tell you something. You know what we're going to do? First of all, we're separating Quebec, okay? We don't fuck with the French like that. You can have it on your own, okay? Actually, fuck that. Just kidding. Now you'll see the true Anglophone oppression, okay? Because after we invade, we take away your health care, baby. Oh, you want to have... You want to have homosexual, Medicare for all style, single payer, communist health care? Guess what? None of that. That's right. The doctors are making you gay. We're coming into Canada so we can privatize your health care, baby. Called land back. Alberta already wants to be a part. They told me. We're going to make weed illegal. Alberta has already seceded. Alberta is ours.
It's our manifest destiny. Picture a future where American Mounties wear red, white, and blue and hail the stars and stripes. Where Wayne Gretzky would wave the American flag every 4th of July in the streets of Montreal.
Is there like someone in the fucking Discord that's like sending that same fucking spam link? I hate deep faked videos. They're not fun. They're not funny. And yet here I see a bunch of chatters sending the exact same fucking deep fake video of me like dancing on top of like Rihanna or something. Rihanna's body or something. It's not funny. You're a fucking boomer, okay? You're literally a fucking boomer. It's very annoying. Okay? I swear to God, it's like the same level as like sending jib jab memes, dude. God damn. You're sending jib jab memes.
Montreal, Maple
maple syrup, the greatest American food. Banff, the greatest American national park. One united nation under the leadership of our glorious president, Drake. No longer shall we tolerate our smug neighbors to the north with their affordable insulin and endless comments complaining that I don't talk about Canada enough in my videos. That's right, Canadians. Watch your backs.
I love that Canadians all around the internet do the same thing everywhere else.
Sleep with one eye open tonight, because Biden's coming, baby. And this time, he's coming with a vengeance!
This is the best ending on a fucking video like this. We should invade Canada just for the fun, I think. Just for the funsies, just for the memes. Fuck it, bro. Canada thinks it can sleep easy at night, neighboring the most genocidal imperialist nation of all time. They've been too comfortable, dude. Talking about Putin and whatever the fuck. You know? Oh, hey.
Nice.
Oh, shit. Brace is on. Talking about Putin. Gonna learn today.
W. Rima.
Okay, what's hold up. It's gonna be so hard.
2 months away from the brain rot monkers.
This is gonna be so hard for me to fucking do, dude. I don't know why the fuck I'm eating in the middle of this, but we'll figure it out. He said lol. Okay. See, we got Brace's Discord. And I believe we have Liz's Discord as well. Okay. All right. Hit them with a video call real
Invade
quick.
Canada Pog.
Turn off my video. Hello?
Hello?
What's going on, guys? Hey, do you want to turn on your camera? Also,
Yeah.
I apologize. I was
17
eating.
months. I'm almost a double brain rot, yet no bans. It's not hard, chat.
Hello.
But
Testing.
of course, Brace is unable to figure it out.
He's a
That
PC
boomer.
guy.
Hey, Brace.
All right, let's
Computer's
see.
being insane. My computer's being insane.
You sound robotic, and your camera's not working. I was being a gourmand when you guys called.
Hasan, king of Azania in
Oh,
Arcadia
no.
and the son of
He'll
King
come back.
Arcas and the Dryad Eritrea.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll just turn it on real quick. Works. Okay.
Hello.
Yo.
Hey, all right, perfect. Let me deactivate my camera real quick, and then I'll reactivate my other camera.
No?
Look at your
Okay.
gourmand spread.
Yeah, I have a full gourmand spread, dude. I am the gourmand.
What the hell? Dude, can you guys?
Yeah.
We
Yeah, but
can't.
you keep cutting
You
out.
keep cutting in and out. You got to change your microphone setting. You got to change
No.
your you got to change your noise gate.
My noise gate?
No,
Yeah.
How about
I-
now? Can you hear me?
We
Yeah.
can hear you now, but it's probably going to cut in and
Sounds
out
bad?
unless you change it.
No, I was just switching back and forth between microphones.
Oh, that's perfect. Never mind. It's perfect now, actually.
Oh my! Thank God. This Discord is very difficult for me to figure out. So, I've like all electronic things, but it looks like it's working.
Okay, let's see. Let me change my camera real quick. Oh, this one. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, there it is. Okay, this is a little bit better. A better camera. Plus, it won't show me gorging my face. What's up, guys? Okay.
Yo.
Hello.
All right. I do have a gourmand spread in front of me at the moment.
What do you got? What are you working with here?
I make Middle Eastern, like I make chicken that I marinate myself,
Ooh.
and then I
How long you marinate?
for like a day,
Nice.
and then basically what I do with that marinated chicken is I'll just get like these like low carb wraps, and I'll just make like little pita pocket, little hero sandwiches.
Some at home Zanku chicken.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because I'm Turkish, so I'm banned from the premises.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah,
the true,
yeah,
which
fair
is the
enough.
true racism, I think.
Oh
Carbon
yeah.
now?
Many people are
you
saying
cutting?
that. What?
Are you low carbon now? You cutting?
I am. Yeah. Well, I have
Oh.
been since COVID. I gained a lot of weight, and then I've been losing it a
Mm.
lot. But
that
enough
what-
about me. Hold on.
No, I like talking about this.
Okay. I mean, we can talk about whatever you guys want to talk
Well-
about. Let me just introduce you guys, though, because I'm being a
Oh,
bad
shit,
host
okay.
once again.
Fair enough.
As always. But I mean, listen, a lot of you guys are probably aware, or maybe some of you aren't, but I am joined by the wonderful podcast TrueAnon hosts Liz Franzik and Brace Belden. Okay, they are I guess they're no longer podcast hosts. They're like straight up. What's the term for? I mean, you guys are reporters now.
No.
No, you're journalists.
No.
We
Straight
are
up.
not. We reject that label.
No,
We do
you're
not
just-
identify as such.
Yeah, no, I think you guys are doing some journaling.
There is no. We are. How are people sending me messages from this? No, we are. Listen, we are unlicensed private investigators.
Yeah.
We're
For the
not
public.
journalists. We're not journalists. I'm under no journalist code. There is no.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have to pay dues to any weird WGA East or anything. We are here strictly as civilians who are
Yeah.
just trying to get to the bottom of the matter.
Today on the podcast we just recorded, I talked shit about Vicky Ward's boots for no reason. So like we really don't have. You're not going to hear that on the New York Times.
Yeah, I mean, you're a journalist, but you're like a truth-telling journalist. You're hitting avenues that mainstream media is too afraid to cover, like
Frankly.
Vicky Ward's boots.
Well, I mean, the thing is, so speaking of cutting,
Hello,
so
chat
here's the
smile.
thing. Prior to this trial starting, Ghislaine Maxwell, who, for those who don't know, Ghislaine Maxwell's family is fabulously wealthy and also connected to one of the longest lasting countries in human history, Israel. Her father, Robert Maxwell, was a notorious spy, but mainly worked for Mossad and was buried with state honors there after his mysterious death. Anyways, this guy's daughter, Ghislaine, is on trial. Her family, very wealthy, used to the finer things in life.
Fucking love
And
them.
one of the big complaints about her being locked up in jail prior to the trial was A, she wasn't allowed a sleep mask. B, the food wasn't nutritious enough. And C, that everyone was so sort of rude to her. Which, I mean, yeah, conditions in American prisons and jails are very bad. But it is incredible that one of her main complaints was about sleep masks. And now her whole thing is her brother gave a press conference yesterday, the sole intention of which seemed to be to say that she is sick of having to eat hard-boiled eggs for lunch every day during the trial, which I didn't know.
Young
So
Tom's
she
gonna
must be
play this
farting up a
out.
storm.
So you think they're gearing up for a Jeffrey Epstein style, assisted suicide play here? Because if you guys read the New York Times coverage, obviously, by journalists such as yourselves, that did the journaling there in the New York Times, when they talked about how Jeffrey Epstein certainly had killed himself, because
Yes.
a friend of a friend, the uncle works at the old uncle works at Nintendo of prison confessions. The guy who worked at a kitchen overheard another guy say that he definitely killed himself, and also because he was in his fifis the entire time. He didn't like prison.
Case closed.
Yeah.
They got it.
Well, my thing with that is some of the evidence they seem to be using for saying he did kill himself was a bunch of statements of him saying,
6
I'm
months,
not
let's
going to
go.
kill myself. Because they're like, look, he wouldn't say that unless he was lying. I think with Ghislaine, I don't think they're going to take Ghislaine out unless maybe they give her a
No.
bad boiled egg or something.
No.
Yeah. Well, from what I understand, the scope of this trial is also very narrow, right?
Mm-hmm. Well,
And
yeah.
that ultimately the revelations aren't going to be as insane or as interesting from the point of view of the average American.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that maybe don't understand fully the ins and outs of the case or haven't really been tuning in except for like the blockbuster stuff, understandably. But they think that, okay, if we don't hear big blockbuster names about, all of the bunga bunga parties they were hosting and all the blackmail tapes and all of the crazy politicians that haven't already been named, like we've already
Thank you
heard
for
names
showing up
that
every
we
day.
all knew
You've
before:
added a
Bill
lot
Clinton,
of value
Donald
to my
Trump,
life,
Prince
less
Andrew.
than
Those
grief.
are all people who have come up in the trial already in the first week and a half. But the focus of the case isn't about that, like, at all, and really is about the girls and the victims, And so the scope of the prosecution, at least, like, they don't want to have it be so wide that all of these like blockbuster crazy names are getting thrown around, because that's just going to like muddy up the jury's perception about what the case is really about, which is the abuse of young girls.
Yeah. Even though, we are hoping that there is some stuff, right? I don't know. Today was supposed to be the CDs. Like, I personally want to know what the fuck's going on with the CDs. Have you been able to figure out? Are you getting up close to the TV? Are they accidentally not able to, cover up some of the names? Like, what's going on?
Yes, definitely getting real up close. Brace is basically doing a handstand trying to figure out what the upside down name that they didn't redacted that was written
And
in Sharpie on a CD was, and you
I
got
was
it.
right. I was right.
Yes.
I was correct. I was right. It was the name of his goddaughter, Selena.
Yes, which is
But
a bit
we will never
creepy.
obviously find out what's in the CDs, right?
So that's the whole thing is we found out yesterday that there were way more CDs full of pictures than we ever knew. And in fact, today we heard some hard numbers of how many images were on them. But we saw 13 just in one picture of evidence of 13 thick, like PhD, I'm going to learn.
Like 10-inch thick, big guys.
Princeton, Yale style binders of CDs. All of the spines redacted, but all of them filled with pictures, with photographs on these CDs. Obviously, we're not going to see any pictures of Alan Dershowitz eating a baby, like chicken wing style, right? But they, today they started out with some people to identify some images, some FBI agents to identify images that were on the picture on the CDs, and honestly, mostly it turned out to just be Jeffrey and Ghislaine in the very few that they showed us.
thing, we found out that the FBI estimated the girl, one of the special agents who was on the stand yesterday and today, estimated that there were about 38,000 photos. 38,000. That is so many photos. We saw 5, and they were just like vacation photos of Jeffrey and Ghislaine. There are not 38,000 photos of Jeffrey and Ghislaine. Like
Exactly.
these are very different. There's a very different set of photos on there
But I want to
that
know, like,
we're just not going to see.
but like, what everybody obviously wants to know is, like, this is the blackmail folder, right? Is it not? I mean, that's the suspicion, is that, like, there's cameras inside the house, as we all know, and that, it's meticulously documented with the names of famous people. I think there was some other additional details on there too. Like, obviously, this is not a case about Jeffrey Epstein. This is Ghislaine Maxwell and what her direct involvement was with Jeffrey Epstein. And as you, Liz, many times have mentioned in your coverage so far, it revolves around grooming, right? Which is not exactly a well-defined legal term. They're not going to get to the good stuff, is what you're saying. Other than justice being served, hopefully, which would be good.
I mean, in my opinion, just taking sort of the long view of things, it seems that if anyone was sort of running an operation, it would have been Ghislaine rather than Jeffrey, considering both her family's history and also Jeffrey was sort of a dope in a lot of ways. I mean, he could be like a smooth operator when he needed to be, but the man had notoriously his vices, whereas Ghislaine, I mean, her only vice was loving Jeffrey too much, but she seems to have, if anyone was really like pulling a huge blackmail operation, it seems like she would have had a really heavy hand in it. The thing is, like, we did find out that on these CDs is just images, as far as we know, just photographs. However, during the evidence, they showing us evidence from his house yesterday. They showed us a previously unknown, at least to any journalist or anybody but members of the FBI, huge like kitchenware bin, like a giant plastic bin that like you keep under your bed.
Right?
Rubbermaid bin of hard drives, like hard drives of the kind where you would keep videos. But none of that, only a few things from a single hard drive were actually entered into evidence, and those were all just emails written by Ghislaine. What's on the rest of those hard drives, we have no idea, and we weren't given any indication because Jeffrey, I mean, think of it this way. This is a billionaire, supposedly, very rich man at least, with more high society connections than you could shake a goddamn stick at, who is constantly having these very well-connected business leaders, politicians, religious leaders over to his house at the same time as young girls that we know that he is having sometimes legal, sometimes illegal sexual liaisons with. It doesn't take a goddamn unlicensed private detective to figure out what the hell is going on there, right? I mean, that gives you a huge amount of leverage if you, for instance, have video of Prince Andrew doing something with a 14-year-old girl. You have a ton of power after that. Bill Clinton, any of these people. And it's like, we know that stuff's out there, but we're not going to see it during this trial. I mean,
will we ever see it? I feel like it's over. I mean, they tied up the ultimate loose end, right? Which is when there's no criminal trial over Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know what kind of what kind of opportunity victims may have to be able to, other than like the original fund that they set up for all of Jeffrey Epstein's victims. Other than that, they really don't have anything to be able to relitigate that. I assume. Or maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, I think the hope is really sending Ghislaine to prison, having someone take accountability for and like saying like this happened, we did this. I mean, I think at least for the victims, that's the hope, right? The money stuff aside, the fund and the way that it's dispersing his estate to victims, I think there's a couple pieces out about that. There's some that's been going on for a couple years now, or since 2020, I think. But yeah, I mean, it's really like Look, we haven't heard anything from Ghislaine. I think that she might take the stand, which would be pretty fucking insane. But everything in her demeanor and the way that she presents herself in the court, which is
Yo, thank you
fucking
so much for
bizarre,
bringing
by the
on
way.
Behind
Like,
the
this
Decks of
girl
Imaginings,
is
the podcast.
like, she's getting up, she's laughing all of the time.
What the
She's like
fuck?
kind of like coquettish. Like, it's a very weird. She has a very weird pose about her. The whole it's like anachronistic or something. It's
Yes.
very, very
Yeah.
weird. And everything that the way that she presents herself and the way that she's talked about her own defense or whatever, and the very limited comments that she's made, tells me that she literally does not think that she's done anything wrong ever. Whether
Yeah.
she thinks these girls are trash and like disposable, and I have no doubt in my mind that she thinks that, or whether it's literally that she thinks nothing bad, whether illegal or immoral, occurred. Like, I think it's a combination of both. And that is like completely psycho for me to understand, to try to wrap my head around.
One of the more interesting aspects
Right.
of being there for the trial is finally being around, and this I know probably sounds kind of weird, but being around other people who know this stuff inside and out.
Oh
And I'm not
yeah,
even just talking about
totally.
like journalist guy, because there's some journalists there who's like Epstein is their beat and they know a lot about him. There's a lot who are sort of just like, especially towards the beginning, less so now, who
Mm.
know less and are kind of just covering this trial as
Like
an
crime reporters or whatever.
Exactly. But there's been a few people that we've met that are just like they know Ghislaine inside and out, and they have these sort of different opinions. Like, one gentleman we were talking to today is like, I honestly don't think that she thinks she did anything wrong. Like, I think that she was abused as a child. We do know she was abused as a child, whether she was sexually abused, we don't know for sure. But like, that like she like literally might think that like, well, it's actually fine for these children to do, which would track sort of with some of her statements that these kids have repeated, or that these adults, former kids, have repeated. Um, but it's been really interesting to see the different angles that people are taking this stuff. We met this financial like guy who just like looks at Epstein's financials and is like obsessed with his financial stuff. And we have heard some new financial news about her. She got a lot more money from Epstein
don't know about
directly
the
than we knew
CDs,
about.
but
I
we
mean, we're
do know
talking
about
sums of like
CDS
tens of
nuts.
millions, maybe 30 million total, just in certain series of transactions that they showed us. And so there's a lot of money being floated around here. I don't think that any of her intelligence connections are really going to come up because A, that doesn't benefit the case. B, the prosecutor is James Comey's daughter.
Which
Yeah.
is
And
so
so,
weird, by the way.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
James
she was
Comey's
like
daughter?
questioning an FBI agent, and it's like, girl, that was like your dad was her boss. Like, it seems
Yeah.
weird.
She's James Comey's daughter, and didn't she personally, or at least like her team, flubbed the original suicide tape, attempted suicide tape of
Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein? And from what I understand, it's like long gone, and they just
Yes.
simply can't find it. No backup, by the way, as well.
Yeah. I don't know. That might have been the Bureau of Prisons. I'm not sure. I saw some stuff, but I actually didn't get into it about if they flubbed it. But they did. I mean, the FBI has repeatedly flubbed the Epstein case in general, going back to the 90s, having
Yeah.
people report
Oh
it to them.
yeah.
I mean,
The
it's
FBI had a separate lawsuit ongoing when Acosta basically gave him the
Yeah.
sweetheart deal that effectively shut the FBI FBI
Yeah.
investigation down.
Investigation.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
It's-
we
I
heard
mean-
How
today,
curious.
like, the raid on Epstein's townhouse, which happened in July 2019,
Oh yeah.
was a total disaster. I
Have a
mean, they
great
got
day,
a lot of
Hasan.
stuff,
Right.
but apparently, I didn't know this, and I mean, this was like really shocking when we found this out. So they enter the townhouse, they come in with a saw, it's like a whole fucking thing, and they have a warrant, and they're pulling all this evidence. This is where the binders of CDs come from. Now they get to one of the many bathrooms. By the way, we found out there are 40 rooms in this townhouse. 40, which feels excessive. They get to the bathroom, one of the bathrooms, and they find a huge safe. Now, that safe comes out, they pull open that safe. We find, and this was reported at the time, binders, passports, diamonds, I don't know, manila envelopes full of cash. Like, it's a little unclear. Apparently, and this is what we found out during the trial, the warrant that they had that day didn't allow them to seize the items in the safe. Now, when that happens, because sometimes you have like a narrow warrant and you have to wait, whatever. Usually, what happens is you post up somebody with the next to the stuff to make sure that nothing gets moved, and you preserve the kind of chain of evidence, provenance, whatever. That didn't happen. Instead, they come back 5 days later with a warrant. They leave the premises and come back, and they're like, "Okay, we're here for the stuff." And the townhouse is like, "Oh, we don't have that stuff actually. That's so weird. But Jeffrey's lawyer can bring it to you in 2 suitcases."
I mean, this is astounding. You get a
Okay.
fucking you get a fucking warrant to raid this guy's house. And then they took all the stuff out of the safe and photographed it like around the safe.
Like in
Unfortunately,
a pile.
the photo was very low res.
Oh my
And so
God.
you couldn't exactly make out all of it, but we know what was in it. I mean, we know there was an Austrian passport, at least multiple passports, but we know about an Austrian passport with his home listed as Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And like this guy has all of this. I mean, this is his goddamn safe, or at least one of his safes. And I don't understand the type of warrant that allows you to take every single other thing from his house that you want, but you can't take the contents of a safe that are identical. Because we're talking about those binders of CDs in there. They took binders of CDs from shelves in other closets, but they can't take it from the safe. And so his lawyer brings back these suitcases full of all this stuff, and they're like, "Well, I guess it's all here." Well, you didn't look on the CDs, so you might have seen that there's CDs in this binder. You don't know what's
what if
on
that's the
them.
good stuff, like the actual, serious blackmail stuff?
Exactly. And there's hard drives in there too. And it's like, so, his lawyer could have just replaced those CDs with 5 days later. That's great.
Yeah.
You know how many CDRWs you could rewrite in 5 days? Also,
Or just put a bunch of like Offspring CDs in there and be like, I don't know, it's just like his
exactly. Like
favorite.
this is Young. He loved Young Thug. He kept it in his safe. Like,
I think the real problem with that isn't necessarily that that they took, I guess, 5 days, but like, why did they get such a narrow warrant and not one that would also would cover locked things? I feel like you're gonna have
Leave someone on the premises while you go get the warrant. That's usual, that's like normal practice by the FBI. You post up an officer until they go get the warrant, they go to the courthouse, then they come back and they're like, "Okay, we have it, now we can take it." You don't just leave and let someone and you say like, "Well, we'll see you soon. Don't do anything that we wouldn't do."
that destroys
like-
chain of custody, right? Like, ultimately,
Yeah,
so it's
like
over.
oops, honor system, Scouts honor.
Exactly. I mean, okay. Oh, so the international sex trafficker's lawyer took the stuff away and he's giving it all back to you. Exactly. It's like, give me a goddamn break. You know what I mean? It's and by the way, Epstein's lawyers, while he was in jail, were bringing in girls, like 19-year-old legal assistants who carried no briefcases or anything with them, and left them alone in a locked room with Jeffrey Epstein that police did not enter. He's meeting with his legal team. And like, Jeffrey Epstein was having sex with teenage girls, legally above 18, but teenage girls while in jail.
Wait, this is the Manhattan one, or are you talking about like in Florida?
Palm Beach.
In Manhattan. No, this is in Manhattan. They were doing this in Manhattan.
We know for a fact that was in the Florida prison where he did that regularly, or he also could leave.
Yeah.
But I did not know that he could do that in Manhattan as well. So, yeah, that only further proves that he was just not trying to kill himself. He probably thought he was protected.
Exactly. I mean, the man is obsessed with sex, like to a degree that would make even the horniest, man walking blush. And he's
like
still
a fatty liver to the gourmand.
Exactly, precisely, like a jar of caviar still at his fingertips, and he's being delivered this by his lawyers. And also, speaking of the gourmand, his lawyers would also piss off everybody else by just literally buying out the vending machines and giving him all the candy, like hundreds of candy bars every time they came to the jail.
Not how you make friends in jail.
I'm just saying, it seems like he's, well fed, well rested. He was getting his sex in, away from his 30-year-old girlfriend.
Exactly.
freely able to do
Yes.
that. She could call her too without the Manhattan Correctional facilities like monitoring, as we know now. So
Well,
That's why
interestingly
the
enough,
New York Times reporting was so weird. The piece you brought up, because they basically said that everything that changed for him was because he got denied bail. And it's like, what? But people get, there's multiple appeals for bail. It makes absolutely no sense that would, like, his entire outlook on his future would suddenly, like, flip, and he would just be like, well, time to go. It's
you know
over.
what was really suspicious about that article as well? A suspicious lack of coverage around Nicholas Tartaglio, his previous cellmate, and that the Epstein team had personally stated, Jeffrey Epstein had personally stated that no, he had not actually tried to kill himself, but this hulking Italian man, ex-cop, who is who was in prison for murdering like 4 people in a drug deal gone bad.
Yeah, like execution
Buried
style
bodies
murdered.
in his
Yeah,
yard.
exactly.
Yeah, that guy who had a mobile phone in that prison, by the way.
Yes, he
That
did.
guy was his cellmate, and Epstein said that guy was trying to kill him, and it wasn't a suicide attempt at all. And yet, that was not a part of the New York Times article. I wonder why they just didn't mention that, even though they did cover the whole first suicide attempt as a suicide attempt. At the very least, they could have just mentioned it.
I mean, I just don't understand why they would take at face value something that we have been shown that there's like the Bureau of Prisons is clearly rife with liars and corrupt officials, and also his fellow prisoners are just to be like, who knows what incentives these people were offered. I mean, it's like, the thing is, it doesn't make a lot. I've been to jail. It is hard to tear a bedsheet in jail because guess what? They think you're gonna hang yourself. They take your fucking shoelaces, man. Like, they thought about this kind of stuff, and so I don't know. It seems totally ridiculous to me. The weird thing is that not weird, but like that the last person he called his final sort of girlfriend. He had forced or made, or it's kind of unclear, her marry another girlfriend of his, and she was actually at the courthouse, I think, last Tuesday or something. And so it's been a lot of there's been a lot of victims and people connected to the case also just at the courthouse, which has been really something to see.
Did you know that he had a sleep apnea machine in his cell?
Yes.
Yeah.
With a cord?
Which
that's
is
it's like, why not use the cord?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was ripping his bed sheets, I guess.
Also, why not just unplug the sleep apnea machine and die of whatever those things cure?
Yeah, but that's not a 100%.
Yeah. Well,
you don't always die. You just choke a little bit.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a lot of nights ahead of you. I know it doesn't. It makes zero sense.
He had pills in his cell too. He had his own pills.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot.
Here's the thing.
It almost felt like they were like, "Come on, just kill yourself. Come on, you're in a bad situation, right?"
You've seen the pictures of the cell. I mean, my God, how many fucking sheets did that guy have? It looked like a goddamn Klan rally in there. I mean, the guy had like 50 pairs of bed sheets in his cell. And the thing is too, like, listen, you want to take yourself out in jail, you can get you can get knives, you can get, I know in San Francisco City jail, you can get drugs, like it's totally ridiculous.
Yeah. It just is really suspicious. And but there were a lot of people, 10% of my audience, I polled it after the New York Times article came out, 10% of my audience was now saying that no, Jeffrey Epstein definitely killed himself, dude. You just simply don't understand it. But maybe they were trolling. I don't know. It blows my mind. But I guess now enough time has passed that like people just don't care. People straight up do not care. Other than you guys, the brave journalists that are, defending the truth out there. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I mean, Liz, do you remember the way we started the podcast is Liz and I were just on the phone talking about it. And I feel like it's hard to kind of remember fully now, but like that feeling of like, holy shit, the curtain is getting pulled back. Like, we are actually seeing somebody we know this stuff happens, but we are seeing like the guy that does it in kind of caught in 4K, as they say. And Liz, that was like an insane time period. I mean, we died.
Yes.
What?
Well, we recorded the first episode and we were like, wouldn't it be funny if I think it was with Matt Christman, and he was like, we were talking about it. There's like no way that he's gonna die. Like they're not gonna kill him. That'd be too crazy. And that was like 3 episodes later. It was like emergency podcast. He's dead. The whole thing was nuts. Yeah, you're right about it feeling like you get a little peek, but then Hasan, you're also right because it's like whoop, curtain closed. You know, it's like you get a little peek, but then it feels like nope, keeping it nice and tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now with with the Ghislaine trial, now it's become just like a trial of this sex trafficker. But well, besides Epstein, who might she have been trafficking these girls? It's like a pimp without Johns, right? Like who
Yes,
is she actually
totally.
trafficking these girls to? And it's like, that's a big question that stands out here, but that's not a question that's really being asked about. I mean, that's part of our thing is like we're trying to keep a lot of the focus on like the trial itself, but also like really who is this person and like what was the goal of the project that she was engaging in with Jeffrey
Yeah.
Epstein?
And also like this trial, like yeah, it needs to be put in a certain context because it's just one, it's not a final piece. It's one small piece in a much larger puzzle that needs to get really worked out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how does this
5 months of
like
radical
how
leftist
does this
communism.
get resolved in
Epstein
your
didn't
eyes?
unalive
Honestly, I
himself.
mean, it does seem
Undeveloping a
like
nice
it could go either
parasocial
way. I mean,
relationship with the goat
I think it's
leftist stalker,
slanted against
bloggers.
Ghislaine because of how much information is out there with respect to like Jeffrey Epstein. Now, it can't be too hard to pin a lot of Jeffrey Epstein's crimes back to her, considering that like they were in a relationship, especially if the prosecution is both simultaneously trying to claim that like Ghislaine was a lover to Epstein, but not for long, but then was an employee. But then as an employee, it's still very obvious that she was sleeping in his bedroom with, photos of them
Mhm.
kissing all around the house. So it's like really like, I don't really understand what the play of the defense is here. Because are they just like trying to overwhelm and confuse, like hitting
Yes.
every angle? It doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to kind of throw anything they can to just muddy the waters. And like any juror, whatever will stick in their mind as a like, well, maybe, that's what they want. And so they're trying a bunch of different stuff. We've talked about it, like the classic slut shaming that they're doing to the victims, which is just really like cartoon, like almost
Yeah,
cartoonishly the way that
exactly.
they're going at these girls or they're who are now women, grown women, is really awful and really just disgusting and depressing to watch.
Yeah, while
And things
simultaneously,
like challenging memory and ideas about how memories are formed or shaped in the brain, all that kind of bullshit, academic bullshit. So they're trying like all sorts of things. I think they're also, to be honest, trying a lot of things so they can try to get a mistrial.
Mhm.
oh, okay.
Because
Yeah,
that might be I don't know, Brace, I don't know how you feel, but I think that the prosecution's case is, at first I didn't think this, but now I do. I do think it's pretty strong.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the witnesses are very strong, and I don't really know what the defense has to come back with other than smearing their reputation.
while also simultaneously trying to paint a narrative that Ghislaine was also victim to these white men, these powerful white
Mhm.
men. So that doesn't make sense either. On the one hand, you're like, oh,
No.
Ghislaine is a girl boss and she is a victim, but then also the same person is like literally turning
Yeah.
around and telling victims of sex trafficking, like child victims of sex trafficking who are now adults, that they're sluts and only in it for the money.
Interesting, right? I mean, it feels like that is the only angle they could play. But then I guess this goes back to my point about me thinking that she doesn't think she did anything wrong, which is that the one card she had when he died was for her to come out and be like, hello, I'm Ghislaine Maxwell. I was a victim of this man. I was afraid to come forward. Now he's dead. Something, whatever, lie, whatever. But they didn't do that. She ran away. She fled. You know, she was like hiding out in her little cabin in New Hampshire. And now it seems like they're really like hesitant to put that kind of narrative forward because I think she's insanely narcissistic. She
Yes.
thinks of herself as above all of these women who she thinks of as low class trash, no matter whether they're models and actresses or young, they were 12-year-old girls in fucking Florida, drug addict homes or whatever. Like she thinks of them, all of these girls, as disposable. She's referred to them that way. And she thinks she did nothing wrong. And I literally, that's the only thing and the only approach that would make sense to somehow making her sympathetic with a jury. And they're not doing it. And it's got to be because of her own fucking hubris.
I'm fully in agreement with that. I mean, it's, and this is why Liz thinks she's going to take the stand too. I'm less certain, but I always defer to Liz in things, in her womanly intuition.
She's gonna Jesse, man.
Jesse?
Jesse took the stand too.
Oh, believe me, I know. And you know what? As the founding member of Journalists for Jesse, I support him. He's innocent, and those guys are lying. It is cool that he did say he hooked up with one of the dudes, and the dude was like, "That's fucking so not true." It's like, yeah. He.
I love that you're paying attention to the real trial of the century.
Oh, we gotta.
While simultaneously covering this for like 8 hours a day.
You don't think that immediately? No, dude, first of all, it's like 13-hour days, and then phone immediately. Like I'm not looking at it all day. Power that bad boy up, Jesse.
Jesse,
what's going on with Jesse?
Yeah, no, he's got. Yeah. Even the original the original district attorney or whoever it was that dropped his case is like straight up still on the attack, saying that he is like, she did what she had to do or something. I don't know what is. It's such a ridiculous, like it wasn't even like well put together.
No.
It doesn't make sense.
It's gonna make a great movie in like a year. Some asshole's gonna make it into a movie.
I'm going to make it, and then I'm going to get Jew bashed and be like, listen, I need $10 million more for this movie. No, but with Ghislaine, it's I don't know. I think she is like, the defense is going to introduce every single ex-boyfriend, jilted lover, former assistant that didn't like them, coworker that they were rude to one time.
Bartenders that saw them wasted.
Exactly. They already telegraphed that they were going to put that in. And it's like, at the end of the day, you got to think, it's like, what will convince a jury is like, I mean, frankly, I think every single girl that has testified so far has had extremely compelling, extremely realistic testimony. None of them were like, yeah, it was with an alien or anything like that. They were like, this is what happened. And like, none of their stories are at all out. I mean, granted, Liz and I, have been following this for a long time, and we know some of the stories of these people already. And obviously we, believe them, but like, a jury is going to see this, I think, and like, I don't know. I don't exactly know what strategy Ghislaine's team can really go with here, because all of the different directions they've tried to go in so far, it's like, at the end of the day, you got to pick one. And I'm not sure what one they can go with.
Yeah. Why not all of them? Well, I mean, you guys originally said that the prosecution was, I guess it was Liz's take, but you said that the prosecution was like a little, like Jim Comey's daughter was a little, not very charismatic. Do you still feel like the prosecution is not doing well, or do you feel like that changed now? Maybe they're just riding on the victims, though. Like the testimony of the.
I don't find them very charismatic still.
No.
But they're very competent. I'll give them that. There's one lawyer on Ghislaine's team who I do not think I think he's an okay lawyer, but he's the most frustrating man. We sat through 5 hours of cross-examination from him, and the jury, I'm telling you, like, I wasn't in the courtroom, but our buddy was, and he was talking to me about how the jury was responding to this, and he said they looked like their eyes were glossed over, they weren't paying attention, that he had totally lost them because he was just so slow-moving and frustrating. And this girl, he was cross-examining one of the victims, And, you know, at one point she was like crying hysterically. And you're just like, what are you watching this like this large man with a huge mustache who's like going on for 3 hours demanding her like answer stuff about certain dates and certain things, and I don't know how successful it is. I really don't, because I
Yeah.
think that she came off extremely sympathetic, even if some of her testimony contradicts previous testimony. You know, I don't think it's that big of a deal, to be honest. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree, because it's like, all right, well, what is more compelling to this jury? This woman giving this extremely straightforward, concise, moving, and extremely like realistic to somebody who doesn't know much about this, right? Account of what happened to her, or this guy being like, well, it says you said 14 years ago in a lawsuit that actually you were at a party when this happened, but you were actually just at a part, or like you were hanging out with 4 people only. Like, that's not gonna like those kind of, I mean, the thing is about trials is that, like, if there's ever past testimony, people contradict themselves in small ways, sometimes in big ways, a lot, right? Like the nature of memory, which is going to be, I think, a much more I mean, there's going to be a lot of experts brought in from Ghislaine's side, especially this one woman, which we will do an episode on, the Mademoiselle Loftus, who is basically, you get her, if you've ever raped anybody, you get her to be your expert. I think it's I'm starving and very tired, so I think it's Elizabeth Loftus. Yes, it is, because I know
This is
somebody
her
with the last name
specialty, is like smearing rape
Weinstein.
victims.
Weinstein, Cosby, going back to like the 80s. I mean, all the Satanic Panic stuff. I mean, she is like the lady you get, and they got her basically to say, like, you know, people's memories are false a lot of the times. But I mean, I don't think even with that, you have 4 different girls up there testifying. We've heard from 3 so far. You have a lot of corroborating testimony from other people who were there. We still don't know who the next witnesses are going to be, you know, to corroborate what we heard today, and Annie Farmer, the final victim. And I just don't see, like, okay, yeah, maybe they were smiling and laughing sometime. It doesn't matter if you smile, you're still being sex trafficked. Like, it's still a crime to move this girl, this child, from one state to another in order to exploit her sexually, even if she's bragging about it to her friends. Like, it doesn't matter if how she acted out, like, you know, this traumatic situation. She might not even know it's traumatic at the time. People react in so many different ways to things. But at the end of the day, it is still a very much a crime to have done this stuff. And so that's the thing to keep in mind too. It's like, yeah, okay, they can contradict themselves. They can bring in ex-boyfriends. They can even brag that, you know, about it to anybody. It doesn't matter. Like, it's, I mean, it might matter slightly to the jury, but legally it doesn't matter. She still did it. And I think that they're showing pretty well that she did do a lot of this stuff.
And at that point, I suspect what they're going to tie it all together with is, of course, the age-old libertarian argument of age of consent laws, and how I guess like some of the stuff is happening in New Mexico, where the age of consent is what?
Yes.
16?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that then all of a sudden it's like entirely, you know, it's an entirely different conversation, where it's like, oh, if it did happen, was it really illegal though? Like,
Right.
Exactly.
they were into it. Plus, you know, look at them smiling in this photo, and also it wasn't even illegal, even if it did happen.
Exactly.
That sort of thing.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of age of consent talk.
Yeah. Which, of course, is you know, every libertarian's wet dream.
Yes, totally. We're gonna be there every day, so it's funny. All these people keep commenting, and they're like, "Wow, keep it up! I can't believe you guys are doing this. You're not gonna do this the whole time, right?" And it's like, no, we're here. We're covering this trial.
You're gonna
We're
do this the
here.
whole time. You're gonna literally be there for, like, if it takes months, you're gonna be there every
It's not
day.
gonna take months. It's not gonna take months. In fact, the prosecution announced today that it's resting on Thursday, which is pretty
Which is,
crazy.
yeah.
So it's moving quickly, but they originally said 6 weeks. But yeah, we're gonna be there. We're covering the whole thing. Gavel to gavel, baby. We
Yeah,
learned
I'm waiting for Brace to come back so we can go shoot guns. That's what we were supposed to do like a while ago.
I know, but you can't even have a gun in New York. It's ridiculous. I keep asking the marshals of the courtroom if I could borrow one of theirs, and I mean, the guy did let me hold it and pop off a few in the hallway.
One of the guys would let me.
I bet they would let you hold the gun. Yeah,
yeah, they really like me.
I reach for it, but I never grab.
So what's up? Are you guys tight with the marshals? You're
There's one that I'm cool with for sure.
Because marshals
He's cool. He's nice. He was talking to me today, and he was like, "Oh, I don't think that lawyer did a good job." And I was like, "You guys pay attention to these?"
Well, it's funny because some of the marshals are like kind of like snoozing and like checking their phone surreptitiously.
Yeah.
But today the marshal was just like hands on the fucking banister, like watching it. Because the thing is, Epstein's famous, right? Like,
yeah, totally.
I like it is like I mean, obviously these guys work at SDNY. A lot of really big cases are tried there, but like this is one of the things where it's like, even if you're not really like, you don't really care about like El Chapo or whatever, because he got tried either at this one or in Brooklyn, but he got tried in SDNY. Like these guys like know, they know who Epstein is. And so it's like, they're talking about Jeffrey. Like some of them are really watching it, but they are, some are cool. Some are, I've had struggles.
I'm going to say that they are look like little cartoon characters of New York guys.
Yes. Every single one has.
I'm surprised they don't have the Yankees hats on. You know what I mean? They've got that vibe for sure. Long Island Yankees fans.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Is people want to know in the chat, and this is like a constant question coming in. Why is Ghislaine Maxwell Protestant when her father was Jewish? What evidence do you have,
can answer this.
sir?
What evidence do I? What don't I have? I'm like literally looking for this book.
Sorry, you're in the hot seat
highlighted
now.
passages. Yeah. Oh, I'm in the hot seat. I think she'll be in the hot seat. You thought this was going to be like an
Andrew Cuomo, Chris Cuomo situation? Absolutely
no.
not.
She's going to be in the hot seat, and by that I mean hell, which Protestants and not Jews go to, or can go to, not necessarily go to. No, so here's the deal, right? All right, so she's Jewish, I'm Jewish, and so I have a bit of a obviously invisibly so, but the thing about Judaism, right? They'll tell you, and I don't really subscribe to this too much, but it is in Jewish law. It's passed down matrilineally,
True.
right?
This is true.
Ghislaine's mother, Betsy, was her little pet name. Betsy is a descendant of French. Well, she's French. Her father, a papist, a Catholic. Her mother, a Huguenot. And I have in my backpack, which is beyond my reach right now, so I cannot grab it. And there's too many wires in the way. I'd knock over the microphone. I have in my backpack highlighted passages from her mother's autobiography written after her father's death, which say that her mother's religion is French Protestant or French Huguenot Protestant. Huguenot's a complicated history there, but basically French Protestants. And her other son, I believe it's Philip, she names, is also a Protestant. However, he's an Anglican. Now, I hear you saying, like, Brace, isn't Christina and Isabel, the two twins that are also Maxwell siblings and Ghislaine's sisters, aren't they Jewish? Okay, yes, they are. Yes, one lives in, believe Christina lives in Israel. Yes, Isabel did help her father sell Israeli spyware, the promise via the company Information on Demand to many different countries. Yes, they are. However, Ghislaine, I have also heard from some elderly Epstein experts at this trial, specifically does not identify as Jewish. And there is absolutely no proof that she does. And I will swear to you, prove that she is not.
I think you just did.
Where did it? Yeah, I mean, that was pretty good. Where I don't even know how this started. Who said she was?
Oh my God, this is the only thing that Brace has talked about for the entire trial. Every day he's like, "Do you know she?" I was like, "You told me this yesterday." Yes.
Do you know what it's like being Jewish, Liz? No, you don't. You don't know what it's like. Okay, and let me tell you something.
Brace and
You're a
Sarah
guy like me.
Silverman both are tired of Jew face.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, listen, if I was her, I'd be a little tired of Jew face too, if you know what I mean. But I see, every day I wake up, I log on to the computer, I search Hollywood sex scandals, and I see another one of our guys.
Why are you searching that every day?
I don't know. See if there's any new one. You search it bi-weekly? I'm searching that every day. Hollywood sex scandals. And I see these names pop up on my screen. And I got to tell you, as a Jewish man, it's not great for us. It's not great. It has not pedophilia. I'm telling we're talking Harvey. We're talking Woody. We're talking Jeffrey. We're talking Leslie. I mean, there's so many. And
I mean, it's not like Philip Roth did you any favors.
he didn't do us any favors. No, Philip Roth. Oh boy, I wish he was Protestant so he could be talking to Satan right now. But no. So I am like, all right, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of these wacko people being like Jewish pedophiles, blah blah. I'm like, wrong, bitch. She is a fucking Protestant pedophile.
Yeah.
Also, any Catholics out there, I'm doing you guys a solid too. So I want you to remember that if hell does turn out to be real.
Protestants
That's
are
true.
like fucking freaky as fuck though too. Those are like some
They
scary
rarely
people.
ever get flacked though. I mean, technically, you have evangelicals.
Protestants?
I feel like when
Somehow
you think about
everyone forgets
pedophilia.
the KKK are a bunch of Protestants.
No.
Yeah.
No. That's why I just said white evangelicals,
Yeah.
right? Like, I totally agree with you. And yet the meta is always like, oh, look at the Catholic Church or the anti-Semitic.
To be fair, we should look at the Catholic Church.
Oh, for sure. But I'm just saying, like, it's always.
Yeah.
Beautiful architecture. Yeah.
Yeah. It's always Protestants always escape the pedophile accusations.
Not from me, brother.
Yeah, exactly.
Not from me.
No,
You guys are pretty. You Muslims. I feel like. Are you Muslim?
I am, yes, but not
You
like a
guys are-
good one. Like, I'm like
yeah,
as Muslim as you're.
brother.
Yeah.
I know. Listen, I understand. You're kuffar.
I am.
But-
Yeah, I do all of the sins. I do every type of haram possible,
That's all right.
except for usury. Weirdly enough, that's
You
the
can't do usury.
no.
That's art. We do usury.
No, that's literally the only thing I don't do is like use. I don't even. I don't have a credit card even.
Oh, brother, no, I can get you in. I've just been doing micro loans. I did find out actually that my grandfather, Jewish man, okay, I always thought he ran a pawn shop in San Jose my whole life. My dad told me a couple years ago. I was like, no, he was a loan shark. He called all the money he had because he and my grandma moved to Palm Springs in this like Jewish community home, and when like they're old. And my grandfather had all this cash that he called his kosher money because it wasn't taxed because he had loan sharked it.
Oh my god.
Interestingly enough, Aunt became Orthodox after that. So who knows?
Wow. Wait,
Yeah.
you can do that?
I'm in the parlance of this platform, I am not capping right now. You can
I
just
didn't-
loan people money at
No, I know
insane
that. I
interest
didn't
rates.
realize you could just like go. No, I wasn't talking about the loan sharking. You could just like turn it up and be like, I'm Orthodox now.
All you gotta do is pop on the wig, baby.
That's it.
I honestly don't know. I lost contact with her, and then she turned up to be Orthodox. So I don't know. I'm too afraid to get back in contact.
It's like, I guess it's like the born agains. You know what I mean? They probably ride or die way harder. I mean,
Yeah,
when you're Orthodox,
yeah.
you're literally riding or dying way harder, regardless. But
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always try to give them the nod here because it's New York. There's a lot of Orthodox Jews. Never get a nod back. Never. I get like a desultory glare sometimes.
from the Orthodox Jews,
Yeah, but I'm kafar to them, so it's like
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel that. Yeah. Okay. Well, this was great. Anything else you guys
Thank
want
you
to
for
talk
having
about?
us.
I don't know.
I mean, look, we're tackling the real issues. Brace talked about pedophilia and its prominence in famous
In Judaism.
Yeah. No, the opposite. Wow, look, she's coming at you again.
Oh,
I'm a journalist. I gotta frame the
She's
stories. I gotta
She's
reframe
8
the
feet
stories.
away from me in another room, and I believe
Yeah.
me, if you don't think I'm gonna come out of here charging like a damn bull.
Well, you don't have a gun
We're in
anymore,
Brace's
so.
funny Airbnb in Chinatown, which like the roof broke this afternoon.
I'm in a tenement. Yeah, all the water fell. A bunch of I had to leave the court early because my ceiling fell in with water and that's like really wet. It also yellow, but it's not piss.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know, brother. Only
How
in
did
New
you
York.
find the one place?
Crazy.
I
I
don't
know
know.
he's President Chaos. It follows him. He
I'm in a
creates
tenement.
it. It's
I'm in a
dialectic.
tenement. Yeah.
Where you go, chaos follows. You bring it, it comes for you. It's both.
Brace tackled 2 important issues today. Ghislaine Maxwell is 100%, without a doubt, not Jewish. Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Orthodox Jews are gatekeeping Judaism from Brace specifically.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
fucked up.
I'm more Orthodox than they am.
Yeah.
The child of or the grandchild of loan sharks. That's the most Orthodox you can get.
All right.
Technically, it has to be your grandmother, though.
Wait for.
No.
No. Oh, okay.
No.
I thought you. Okay.
Little call back, just a little fun callback.
Oh, okay. I thought you were being serious. You guys are. You know.
I just go like seriously anti-Semitic, like just shockingly.
You are
anti-Semitic.
Polish. Do not. Hasan's
Hey.
gonna get banned.
Oh yeah,
No.
No. Is that
True.
a
Got-
thing?
Yeah.
Well,
For having Polish people
anti-Semitism?
on? Oh.
Big tech.
Big tech censorship. Yeah.
Oh
That's the
my
only thing
God.
stopping me from, saying slurs all the time.
Well, they don't want the Poles speaking out. And once you heard Polish, you won't either.
It's cute. I didn't mind that
Yeah,
one.
That's pretty good.
It's a funny language. It's
It's
very weird.
You're gonna get.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Sounds like Russian. You can't even do an impression of Polish. It
I'm
sounds so
gonna-
weird.
I'm from though. That's Liz and I are both ancestrally. That's where we're from. So this is.
Oh, I can say whatever the fuck I want.
Franzak? Give me a
Yeah,
break.
fine. Frenchek? Yeah. No.
Franchek? I mean,
Also,
the ladies.
yeah. No.
Yeah, no.
I'm good.
The one group of people that you can't make fun of on this platform or in general in my community is Polish people. They get very upset.
Really? I'm
Oh,
one
yeah.
of them though. I don't get upset.
She is Polish, and my family's from the Polish-Ukrainian border, which means we're Jewish, but possibly some Poland there.
Yeah, I feel that. Okay. Well, I just wanted to say, I've been getting very excited every night for you guys' coverage, and I feel like you guys are doing a great job. You're my favorite journalist now, for sure.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You sure you want to shoot guns back in LA?
Yeah, I'm down. But yeah, no, you guys have been doing a great job. And everybody, this is TrueAnon, for those of you who don't know. And I've talked before in the past about your Elon Musk coverage as well. I think that was when I was like, yeah, I got to bite the bullet. I got to give you guys $5 a month, This is so,
Thank
yeah, I became a Patreon subscriber.
Aw,
Well, if it
thanks,
makes you
dude.
feel any better, I'm lending it out at very favorable interest rates to myself to people in desperate need.
Following your grandfather's footsteps.
Exactly. Well, I gotta eat or I'm gonna pass out from what's the thing where you get low blood that low blood sugar.
I don't know, but I do too. I'm in the same situation. I thought I could have like a big bite in the beginning, and then I was like, I'm talking with food in my mouth. This is so rude. I can't do this. So,
In fact, where the societies that I traffic in, that's actually the most polite way to talk.
Oh my God.
I love to be in the presence of a true masticator with a nice thick chop, possibly covered in some extra sugary applesauce. The gourmand loves to eat a buttery piece of corn like this.
oh, I feel like it would be too lowbrow for him, but
Well, it's corn. It's like Goldschlager corn, where every other kernel is like a gold nugget.
yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thanks a lot for coming on, guys.
All right,
This was
Playboy.
wonderful, even though you went to Chapo first, and I will never forget that. You know?
We're on a different schedule. We had to.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I feel you.
I
Last time we
had
did-
to. Who would get madder at me if I changed it? And they would be more mad about
Yeah, no,
it,
I know,
which is
yeah.
actually a compliment for you.
Yeah, that means I'm just a more reasonable person, of course.
Literally does.
No, I'm just kidding. It's all good. And, you know, thanks a lot for coming on. And hopefully
Thank
we'll
you.
see you guys soon again.
Yes, anytime.
All right.
See ya.
Perfect. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Okay, let me turn on my camera really quickly. Activate it. Boom. Guys, that was TrueAnon, Liz Franzik and Brace Belden. I love them. I think you guys probably understand why. They're fucking hilarious. They're awesome. They're funny. And they're brilliant. So I wanted to keep up with what was going on in the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, and once and for all show you sons of bitches who don't believe that Jeffrey Epstein was suicided rather than committed suicide, what the truth was. Okay? This one's personally talked to me over Twitter DMs when I was depressed at the beginning of the pandemic. Genuinely wonderful person. Yeah, they're great. They're awesome. I just got home. Can you call Brace back, please? No. New poll? No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. What we are doing instead is, does anyone have the fucking MasterChef link? Because I am starving. Not just for content, but also quite literally starving. Like, I need to eat food, and I feel like the most conducive way to do that is by watching other people get fucking owned in the marketplace of MasterChef. Gaming has been killed by reality shows again. Weeby, shut the fuck up, okay? Gaming has not been killed. I will be playing Mario Kart. That's right. I will be playing the Kart of Mario with Arya, Saki, and also Pokimane. That's right, boys. That's right. That's not the right playlist, though. That's the wrong playlist. You sent me the wrong playlist. Where's the right playlist? There it is. I think this is the one. Is this the one? I don't think this is the one. What episode were we on? Nintendo gaming's not real gaming. Well, actually, first of all, how dare you? Secondly, how dare you twice, actually. You know, it's not enough. Let's just say once. But close enough. Oh, there it is. We found it. Okay, so first of all, how dare you? Second of all, Halo campaign's coming out, and I will be playing that as well. Yup. That's right. Here we go.
Previously on MasterChef, the home cooks face their first team challenge.
You've got 2 hours to serve 350 guests.
Been cooking meat for twice as long as he's been alive.
Disaster.
The losing team faced an intense pressure test, ending another amateur home cook's dreams.
Tony, time's done in MasterChef.
Tonight,
Game on.
15 home cooks remain.
Show us you mean business.
And the competition intensifies.
Why are you crying?
Some will crack under pressure.
Complete disaster.
And the judges take it personally.
This gives what I do a bad name.
I would send you home now. I feel like giving up.
At the end of the night, a shocking elimination.
It was inedible.
Over the next 8 weeks, the remaining home cooks will face extraordinary challenges.
My mum's flown halfway around the world to come here and eat that dessert.
For the winner, $250,000.
You're unstoppable.
That's a party in my mouth.
And the title of MasterChef.
Let's go, guys. Stand in front of your station, please. Let's go. Good morning.
Morning.
Now, in your previous challenge, another talented contender for the title of MasterChef was sent home. Look, there's just 15 of you remaining. 15!
Oh, it's awesome to be in the top 15. But I'm in the middle. I don't want to be in the middle anymore. I want to be on top. I need to step it up.
Today's challenge is about inspiration and creativity. Your second
Bro, she's just straight drunk all the time. Not even kidding.
mystery box challenge.
You'll each have to prepare, cook, and present one absolutely fantastic dish. The trick? You're only using the ingredients hidden under those boxes.
We will taste only the top 3 dishes. The person with the best dish from that 3 will have a huge, and I mean huge, advantage in the next challenge.
If you win this challenge, you're going to have a huge advantage. I don't know what the huge advantage is going to be, but whatever it is, I want it.
Any of you ready to go home yet?
You've got 1 hour. Show us that you mean business. On the count of 3, you'll lift those boxes and find out what you're up against.
I love mystery boxes. I'm a savory cook, so I'm hoping for a nice savory protein.
I am so hoping that under this box, there are the ingredients I need to make some sort of pastry.
Slowly. 1, 2, 3. Wow. Rack of New Zealand lamb. Stunning. Peaches, Romanesco cauliflower, fresh fava beans, feta, white rice, Thai chili peppers, tarragon, creme fraiche, pie crust, heavy cream, and eggs.
The ingredients that you have in front of you, they are so diverse. You can really go either way, right? Sweet, savory. There's so many opportunities.
Make this the best dish you've ever cooked in this competition, because the next stage is an elimination test. 60 minutes, and your time starts from now. Off you go.
Lamb something that I use at home, and I'm just gonna brown it off and then glaze it, cut them into little lollipops, and then maybe just a little cauliflower, some fava beans. I think I'll be in the top 3.
I have no idea what this is. And it's scary, and it reminds me of a Christmas tree.
The mystery box challenge is where we separate the men from the boys.
Right.
You got to really have the combination of intelligence and speed. You got to conceptualize and execute, not second guess yourself. Take it all the way to the bottom line.
What would you do? I do a roasted lamb, and I do a little fava mint salad, some crumbled feta with it, and maybe a little romesco.
A weird fucking eclectic group of foods. Sorry, I paused it specifically for 2 reasons. One, because I've missed like literally every fucking top of the hour ad break, okay? And I gotta run one for sure. And 2, I gotta update title, okay? MasterChef time. And 3, I got to tweet out that I'm watching MasterChef because people want to know, probably, I suspect. Okay. Anyway, I'm fucking super late to the top of the hour right here. I'm just running it. I don't give a shit. Okay, I'm not even going to promote anything. Okay, here it is.
Go puree.
I need to capitalize big time on this challenge. I need to be at least top 3, show them exactly who I am, and just be right in their face.
Talk to me about the dish. What are you doing?
I'm gonna poach some peaches, maybe do a little creme fraiche with mint and some of the chilies. And I did a little test run on my lamb chop with pomegranate molasses.
Yes.
Coated in over that.
Very, very sweet.
Yes.
Great for a glaze, but it is incredibly weighted and it's incredibly thick.
Right.
And very syrupy. Okay, get it together, yes?
Yes, sir.
Good luck.
Thank you.
45 minutes to go.
I'm gonna make some lamb lollipops, and I'm going to fry up some of the feta cheese and kind of do a sweet compote on top of the feta cheese.
Derek, talk to me. What do you got?
Uh-oh. He took the rack of lamb and made hamburger out of it. Jeez, are you out of your mind?
A little bit. That's like taking a Bentley and crashing it into a wall.
I just want to stand out a little bit.
Don't risk everything to distinguish yourself. You know, a rack of lamb is a rack of lamb. Sure. Give it the respect it deserves.
Uh-oh.
Wow. A lot of butchering. I thought they would have left those rack of lambs whole. Everyone's taking it apart. Yeah. That's kind of like freaking me out.
To cut each one into individual slices,
very risky.
Lamb's that thin, it's overcooked the minute you've touched the pan.
That's the advantage of a rack. 35 minutes to go, guys.
I'm a little lost right now.
Hello, Alejandra. What are you doing?
I'm doing a curry rack of lamb, and it's right now in the oven, finishing up with the roasting. I'm gonna make a peach chutney using some mint.
One thing I'm worried about, though, is your rack of lamb is in the oven with 30 minutes left to go.
I'm pulling it out so it can rest and all the liquids can distribute.
Okay, perfect.
Thank
Good luck.
you, Chef.
As far as my lamb, I'm feeling good. Gonna try to cook it very quickly because this type of lamb will burn if you cook it any more than a minute and a half.
Wait, did Max get clapped?
Right, Susie, no lamb, no peaches, and you've gone for a vegetarian cauliflower spiced rice dish. It's a very big gamble.
It is, Chef. Yeah, I'm having fun. I'm having fun in the kitchen.
Okay, just under 10 minutes to go.
You cooking the rest of this too?
Yep, I'm gonna cook the rest of that up
Perfect.
also. Yep. Graham comes over to me and says, oh, you're gonna use the full rack? And originally I was just gonna stick with my lollipop chops. They're really nicely seared. And I was like, you know what, maybe I should try to throw it on there. I figured that I would have enough time to let it kind of cook itself through to a nice rare to medium rare. It was not my original game plan.
Last 2 minutes.
Now you should be having your meat resting. Are you thinking about plating it?
45 seconds to go. Finishing touches. Keep it going.
To be fair, you're gonna eat a fucking rack of lamb raw, you know what I'm saying?
Guys, we're only tasting the top 3 dishes. Make sure yours is in those top.
Especially the homie. You know Graham is like, nom 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 nom. You know Graham's gonna hit it raw. He don't give a fuck.
3, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop.
Chef Ramsay yells time, and I'm thinking, damn, I should have left that rack on my board.
Uh-oh.
Finishing touches.
In the Mystery Box Challenge, the judges will taste just 3 dishes.
10, 9.
The winner will receive a huge advantage going into the next round.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop.
Chef Ramsay yells time, and I made a haste decision, and now I wish I would not have plated that.
We've been watching you all very closely and observing all those techniques, studying.
Did you just say what Turkish food uses lamb? Just straight lamb, bro. Turkish people literally eat lamb, like not raw, but just. You know how many fucking dishes have lamb in it in Turkey? Like most. Not most dishes, but like a fuckload of dishes have lamb in it. And not only that, but also we straight up eat lamb with nothing. We just put it on the fire. Pirzola is what it's called. I used to hate it when I was a kid. I try to sneak it to the dogs. Like not my dogs, but like, you know, street dogs, right? Strays. And my dad once caught me and he was so fucking mad. He's like, that's really good lamb. How dare you? How dare you give that to the dog? Anyway, let's keep going.
That level of creativity and really seeing you take this challenge face on. I'm going to single out one dish that stood out. Jennifer.
Oh, bad one.
Your dish definitely stood out.
In a good way.
Unfortunately, for all the wrong reasons.
Jennifer, this I have to make a point of, because this is not even about cooking, about technique. This is a complete disaster. This lamb is raw, is completely raw. You can't, you take this thing and you cut it in half. It would be dangerous to serve a piece of lamb like this to a judge. This is raw, raw. Do you see this? Yeah. Raw. What are you thinking? What are you thinking about trying to serve us raw food? We're here to judge this thing. We're watching you cook. We're not idiots. You know, if it were for me, this is not an elimination round. I would send you home now. This is a serious cooking competition with a serious prize. Don't come in here and waste our time, because it will throw you out of this competition if you do something as stupid as to serve us raw, unsanitary food.
Bro, chill the fuck out, dude. You can eat it raw. Like, calm down, okay? Don't say damn
I didn't
straight.
trust my instinct and tried to plate a bigger plate than I really wanted to. I should have stuck with just the chops.
I mean, he
And I don't
sucks,
like
but like also,
sucks.
I mean, he's right.
3 of the dishes that stood out.
And she
For all the
sucks,
right
but
reasons.
also the way he's saying it is fucking
First dish
unacceptable.
belongs to
Max.
Alejandra. Right, describe the dish, please.
Okay, this is a curried rack of lamb. I have a cauliflower steak that I've roasted in the oven. I have made a chutney with the peach and the pomegranate molasses. And the rice, I've made a pilaf with the fava beans that I've blanched just in salted water.
Oh my God.
So, 60 minutes, 1 stunning dish. You've done that times 4. 4 individual tough techniques that even a professional chef would struggle to get done in 60 minutes. You've done it brilliantly.
Oh my God.
And that's the peach chutney.
Yes, sir.
It's delicious. Great job.
Thank you so much, Chef.
This is one of those rare occasions that, like, you nailed it, you nailed it, you nailed it, you nailed it, you nailed it.
Thank you so much.
After Alejandra's chosen, I'm like, please call my name. I'm sending like little messages to Chef Ramsay, Chef Elliott, and Joe.
So the next dish that we want to try is a dish that I think would certainly win the award for being the most restaurant ready.
Tracy.
And that dish belongs to Adrian. Why don't you come down here and give us your dish?
Well done.
Tell me about the reduction, the pomegranate reduction. How did that come to?
I did like a dummy lamb chop with just the molasses, but it was pretty heavy. So I kind of put in the blood orange juice. Then once I sear them, I use that marinade and put it into the port reduction that I poached the peaches in.
It's like fireworks on your palate. You have heat in the back, you have
Oh my
acidity in
God.
the front. What's the heat from? The chilies?
The Thai chilies and
Thai
the
chilies.
creme fraiche with walnut.
He probably currently has 100,000 people watching him play Grand Theft Auto. And this motherfucker feels like he needs to. I only came in here to remember how much I fucking hate Hasan Law. Hasan is such an ass tier streamer, to be honest. You just do everything XQC does. The difference between you and I is that I'm friends with him. And you never will be. And it probably, you know, you're doing this like weird defense of him right now that just only makes him look bad, you know? Also, get your facts straight. The first streamer to watch fucking MasterChef wasn't XQC. It was Trainwrecks. I'm going to keep this little juicer pet.
I thought you were sort of disappearing in this competition.
Yeah, also XQC would find you cringe. I know, as a matter of fact, that he would find you incredibly fucking cringe for doing that. Like, incredibly cringe.
But it's remarkable. Absolutely delicious. Good job.
I appreciate it.
Well
Chef.
done.
Thank you.
Well done, well done, well done.
Not banning him.
All right, the next dish out of the
Wanna know what he
three
does.
that we're tasting. The contestant had some of the best, most beautiful plating skills that we've seen so far. Tracy, please come forward. All right, walk me through it.
Okay, so basically I wanted not only the lamb to be the star, but also the feta. So I sliced up those blood oranges, kind of grilled them on the stovetop so they were nice and caramelized. Also fried up the feta cheese so that it would have a crispy exterior.
The walnuts and the feta alone look beautiful with the little blood orange. I mean, you set that aside and that's, you know, like its own little vegetarian course or
Right,
something.
right.
It's really nice. So this lamb, you know, as we cut through it, should just be that beautiful pink, you know, almost sensuous color.
Sensuous.
I mean, absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you, Chef.
You did it
Great
right.
flavor. I really like that use of the creme fraiche and the balancing of the sweetness with adding some of that salt and pepper that gives it some heat that's really needed.
Thank you very much, Chef. Thank you.
This is a well thought out, intelligently constructed entree. I think that the
Tell your friend Will to stop fake at Attack of the Show. How dare he in the presence of Kevin Pereira? What? What the fuck does that mean, bro?
feta and lamb is one of the winning combinations. Delicious, Tracy. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay. 3 amazing, remarkable dishes.
Tracy and Alejandra are awesome, but I know my dish is spot on.
We're definitely on a new level here. This is really kind of raising the bar. These dishes are complex, complete, and intriguing.
I finally made it to the front of the judges as one of the top 3. Like, at this point, my strategy has to be keep going up.
For us so far, in this contest, the toughest decision we've had to make.
I don't want to be second place. I want to be number 1. You know, I want to be the best.
The winning dish today from the Mystery Box Challenge. Congratulations goes to
Alejandro, duh.
In the Mystery Box Challenge, the top 3 dishes have been tasted by the judges. Adrian's Farmer's Market Lamb.
Bro, you can't fucking turn around. You can't literally turn around and fucking tell her she didn't win that after you sucked her off.
Alejandra's curried rack of lamb. And Tracy's sweet and salty feta with lamb.
For us so far, the toughest decision we've had to make. The winning dish today from the Mystery Box Challenge. Congratulations goes to Adrian. No! Well done.
Good job.
Really good job.
Thank you, Chef.
Excited?
I don't even
Bullshit!
I don't know what to say. So, thank you. I won a mystery box challenge. I got their attention. I want to go celebrate. It's completely a dream. It's a great
Misogynist.
Are you ready to find out what your advantage is?
Yeah.
Okay, this way. Let's
Misogynistic.
Go. Congratulations.
As the winner of
They
the
low-key
Mystery
are a
Box,
little bit, though.
Adrian
I mean,
enters the
all jokes
MasterChef
aside, they
entry.
kind of are. I mean, this was a
He will
joke
be
here,
put in
but
control of the next challenge. In the elimination test, at least one person will leave the competition. And now, Adrian.
Shut up, you soy boy. Okay, dude. Gordon Ramsay is dope. And Graham seems like a really nice guy, but if you don't think fucking Joe is literally a rampant misogynist, I don't know what to tell you, dude.
Will be given a huge advantage as he gets to
What
pick
the
the
fuck?
ingredient everyone else must cook with. But the one thing he can't control is the theme of the challenge. As always, that is in the hands of the judges.
The first bit of news is you could still be up for elimination today. Okay? The theme of today's elimination challenge is desserts.
I'm freaking out just because I don't make any desserts at home. I never order dessert when I go out. But if I can come out strong on this, it's gonna gain some real respect.
So we're about to show you 3 amazing ingredients for dessert. But before that, let's talk about your 2 huge advantages. First of all, from these 3 ingredients, you get to choose the ingredient that you want to be the star across your dessert, and then you get to choose a different ingredient for your competitors. Be clever.
Okay, so the first ingredient today is coffee. As a component of desserts, it's a game changer because inherent in coffee comes acidity, bitterness, things that you have to really consider when you create the most sophisticated desserts.
All right, ingredient number 2 is pineapple. It's both sweet and sour, right? There's these different acidic notes.
I've heard a lot of chefs think Gordon Ramsay has had a negative impact on the restaurant industry with his behavior. Why?
That can really help set a dessert apart.
Your third ingredient, nuts. So complicated to get right. Think very, very carefully. Remember, it is an elimination test.
My advantage is kind of like a catch-22 because it doesn't matter what I pick. I could pick any 3 of those things and someone's gonna hate me.
So which ingredient are you choosing for you and for your competitors?
Bro, my audience doesn't even grow when I'm watching fucking MasterChef. It gets smaller. I'm doing it purely because I enjoy it. Motherfuckers still come in here. Probably because they're bored. They don't want to watch like XQC play video games or something, or they don't want to watch and play Grand Theft Auto. So they come in here to be like, nah, you suck. It's like, dude, you make him look bad when you do that.
Wow. The theme for today's elimination test is desserts.
I feel really confident doing desserts. As a chef, you need to know how to do pastries as well as culinary, and I think I can do both.
When I hear I'm cooking desserts, I'm pretty pissed off. I don't feel comfortable with them at all, and I'm a little worried, to tell you the truth.
Adrian had a choice of 3 ingredients to pick from: pineapple, coffee, or nuts. Adrian got to choose the main ingredient for his desserts, and he got to pick the ingredient that the rest of you are gonna have to cook.
Wow.
Pineapple.
So he chose for himself the most diverse ingredients, and they are...
I picked nuts.
Is there anyone who is a little bit jealous of Adrian's nuts?
They're fake laughing so hard.
Are going to be using
Don't pick coffee.
the most amazing
Not pineapple.
coffee.
Come on, seriously?
Yes! Coffee's something I love. It's something I know. I want to run over
He went easy, bro. Pineapple would have been so hard.
to Adrian and just give him a big hug right now.
Remember, we're gonna be
What the fuck are you gonna make with pineapple? I feel like coffee is actually hella easy. The thing about coffee is that coffee is savory, right? It's like a little bitter, but you can add it into like a normal dessert. You know what I mean? Like you can make a normal dessert and then put coffee on it, and then it's like a coffee dessert. With pineapple, there's like 3 things you can make. You know what I mean? There's like, and it's a very specific and super sweet taste. You can't just like, you know, upside down pineapple cake. I'm just saying that like pineapple in and of itself is a harder choice, in my opinion, than coffee.
tasting all of your dishes today, including Adrian's. And on the back of that, one of you will be going home.
You've got 5 minutes in the pantry to get your ingredients, then 90 minutes to make the most exquisite dessert. Your time starts now. Off you go.
With coffee as their main ingredient, the contestants now have 5 minutes in the pantry to get everything they need to create a dessert that can keep them in the competition.
Immediately, I think of an espresso chocolate flourless cake. Part of the reason why I chose a flourless chocolate cake is that there's minimal ingredients, so I could focus on some other flavors.
For making
cheesecake. I bake a lot of dessert, but I just bake a lot of cookies. This isn't cookies, it's a lot more scientific. Oh, come on.
Baking and pastry and desserts are all chemistry, and I really understand the science of food, so I'm hoping that carries me through today.
You know, in the back of my mind, I always see myself at a minimum cooking in the finals, if not winning this whole competition.
Just under 60 minutes left.
Who do you think can bring it in the baking department? Who's shown us some baking skills thus far?
I think Tracy is a very clever but reserved individual.
Technical cook.
What about Alvin? You know, we've seen him take a molecular approach, which means he has some science background. Does he apply that to the sweet food now?
Yeah, I mean, fingers crossed. I thought it was a very smart move for Adrian to have chosen the nuts because...
I mean, baking is literally like a science, so... Baking is the closest you can get to doing science while cooking, I feel like. Because you have to straight up follow the directions correctly, and it's literally like chemistry. All cooking is science. I feel like you can get away with a lot of... There's a lot more leeway in, like, most other kinds of cooking that does not exist in baking. Baking definitely is like more of a more technical and closer to like the scientific approach than any other kind of fucking cooking. But I know that everybody's gonna fucking shit on me and say that I'm wrong because this is like an opportunity for chat to like get out all of their anxieties and debate me on shit that's not in my purview. So I'm sure that there's a lot of brilliant people in the chat that will use this as an opportunity to be like, you're fucking wrong, dumbass. Ball. You know, because when you do that in every other field, I fucking destroy you. So this is like your one time to be like, no, actually...
And so much more diversity.
But a lot riding on his shoulders now if he doesn't produce, and you know he's got his neck on the chopping block like everyone else.
What are you doing, Alvin?
I got to do a beignet, and I'm trying to pull off coffee spheres to put in the beignet.
Wow, so like a liquid center,
yeah,
Cafe
liquid
du
center,
Monde.
yeah, powdered sugar, maybe a little coffee dust on top.
Are you out of your mind? Make us dessert. It's not a chemistry experiment.
You need to convert him.
Max, what are you doing? You've got all cream over your nose, buddy. Yeah, a little bit here as well. There you go. Excellent. What are you making? What are you making?
I'm making a layer cake with crepes and a cream cheese and mascarpone coffee infusion.
Good luck.
Hi, Alejandra.
Hello,
God
chef.
damn!
What are you making?
It's a black
I hate him, but he
bottom
knows his fucking
coffee
food, bro.
cream tart.
Wow. What's this?
That's like a whipped cream with instant espresso.
Like, I can't stand the
And,
motherfucker,
little bit
but
of sugar.
god
That's
damn, he
instant
knows his
coffee and whipped
food.
cream?
Yeah, well,
Where,
and a
where
little
did
bit
you
of
where,
sugar.
where did you learn that?
My mother.
That is like so ghetto delicious. It's awesome.
It's like Kool-Aid.
Thank you so much.
Okay, guys, 30 minutes to go. So you're doing like almost like a short crust tart.
I'm close on time, but I'm just gonna push for it.
What did you say? Did I miss that?
That's on top.
Are you out of your mind? Make us dessert. It's not a chemistry.
What are you making? Cream cheese and mascarpone coffee.
Cream tart.
Wow. What's this?
That's like a whipped cream with instant espresso. And a little bit of sugar,
That's instant coffee and whipped cream?
Yeah, well, and a
where
little
did you
bit of sugar.
where did you learn that?
My mother.
That is like so ghetto delicious. It's awesome.
It's like Kool-Aid.
I rest my case, motherfucker. Okay, first of all, this dude is literally, are you allowed to say that? No, of course not. I mean, it's like lower level racism, you know what I mean? It's not like at the same level of as like the N-word, but it's like level I know it's like level 3 racism. It's a microaggression, like an actual microaggression where it's like he thinks he's like being positive. Does that make sense? Like he thinks he's saying something good here. Like he's saying like, "Oh, I'm with it." It's not even a microaggression. I think it's just an aggression, to be fair. But the other thing I wanted to say is like, doesn't he look like and sound like Jeremy Strong here, Kendall Roy? And I feel like that's something Kendall Roy would say. Wow, this is ghetto wait, I was about to say ghetto racism. This is ghetto delicious.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
He said it's awesome. It's like it's Kool-Aid.
Guys, 30 minutes to go. So you're doing like almost like a short crust tart.
I'm close on time, but I'm just gonna push for it.
The pastry's still raw. Can I suggest you get them in the oven?
Yes, chef.
Yeah. Interesting. We've got some weak desserts. We've got some strong desserts.
The most important thing in this challenge is you don't want to be in the bottom 3.
No, I think Alvin and Christine are my potential sort of weakest desserts. Okay, 10 minutes to go.
They're coming out perfect. This dish is definitely gonna be a top competitor.
I'm pulling my tart out of the oven, and it looks like soup. It's just not even coming together. So I have no clue what I'm gonna do. I have leftover coffee filling that is still kind of liquidy, and
As much as I love her because she's like, you know, drunk single mom, I have to admit, she has straight up failed upwards, and I don't know how. Like every round, she has made something that's like half-assed, kind of sucks, just drunk all the fucking time. I don't know how the fuck she made it to this level. Like there were definitely people that were better than her.
I did make melted chocolate, thank God. There's 6 minutes left, and I look over, and I'm realizing that I have all these eggs left, and I still have sugar. Be back. So I'm like, mousse, 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 mousse. I can make a mousse in 6 minutes. Coffee mousse. I mean, there's nothing else I can do.
Okay, 5 minutes to go. Make it count. Start finishing that amazing dessert.
I'm here for my son, I'm here for myself, and I'm not going home.
Last 60 seconds. Put those finishing touches.
She has a liver issue and she's dying? What the fuck?
Touches.
60 seconds. Screw this, screw that. Oh, where's the chocolate chip?
15 seconds to go.
There's a chocolate chip. There's a raspberry.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Well done, well done, well done. Good job.
I literally just whipped this together. I'm thinking I'll do great or I'll go home.
All right, Adrian, let's do it.
As the winner of the Mystery Box Challenge, Adrian got to choose his main ingredients as well as those of his competitors. But he could still face elimination.
It's a chocolate torte, and I have pistachio hazelnut inside. And also, I made a coulis of raspberry, strawberry, pomegranate, and amaretto.
What's really odd is it seems like you chose chocolate as your ingredient. The nuts are just kind of a garnish on top.
The sad news is you can't really identify what we've done different from the nuts on top to the nuts inside that mixture.
Bro, Max has killed and he will do it again. I'm sorry, you cannot convince me. I've never seen someone with such fucked vibes, bro. Straight up. That is a man who has killed and he will do it again. Okay? That is the face of a man who made those fucking police cameras just so he could watch cops murder people for fun, for his own personal pleasure. This entire time I thought he made those cop cameras because he wanted to like decrease police brutality. Turns out he made those cop fucking gun cameras specifically so he can watch the moment of murder. Personally, okay? To relive his highlights.
How many different nuts do you use?
All of them, sadly.
Every kind. Is that like a normal thing you've seen before a cake with every nut known to humanity in it?
No.
So what were you thinking? I think you took an incredible advantage.
This is Max's face after Tony left.
But let me tell you something
fucked
really
up.
important. You have a...
Yeah, he's fucking into it, dude. Wait, did this fucking dipshit say anything else? Aw.
And squandered it.
Christine, please come up.
I make mousse in my house all the time, but I have never, ever made mousse in 6 minutes. I was trying to make like a creamy coffee tart, but I didn't have enough. I didn't calculate my time well enough.
Thanks.
The actual mousse tastes nice. For me, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And on the back of a disaster with the tarts, I think you've done a pretty good job to bring that back, to be honest. I think you should wait till 5 minutes to go in every challenge now, because I think we'll see who you're strongest.
Okay. I mean, I feel pretty awesome that they recognize the fact that I didn't give up.
Max, let's go.
When I present my dish, I'm really proud. I like the presentation, and I think the judges are gonna find it genius.
What in the hell is that?
It's about 15 crepes.
15 crepes?
Stacked together.
15 crepes in there?
About that much.
Okay, in between the 15 crepes, what is it?
It's a mixture of cream cheese, mascarpone, some espresso, a little cream, some sugar.
Damn. You have to do this with me. You have to taste that. It's like I've just gone to the doctors for a skin graft on my butt.
Yeah.
And stuck it in caramel.
Yeah.
That is a horrible, weird texture. That's rancid.
That good, huh?
Wow. You know, the fact that it's an elimination test, it's serious. There's no sweetness. I don't get a lot of coffee flavor at all. I don't get much of anything aside from the...
Dude, get fucked, dude. Oh, I'm gonna do a touchdown dance, dude. I'm gonna do a fucking touchdown dance on his fucking weak ass, bullshit ass. Get fucked in the most horrifically embarrassing way possible.
weird texture. I would be worried.
Belittle
actually,
him.
with what you made here.
Belittle him, Graham. Graham, the portion sizes were small, Graham. Add insult to injury. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck?
Alejandro, please come down and join us. Now, this is not what I expected. I thought those ingredients were going to be like somehow cooked. This is everything I tasted, I think, raw. What happened?
I am inexperienced with desserts. I didn't give it the proper time to cool in the...
Bro, remember when everyone in the chat was saying, well, not everyone, but a lot of chat was like, you're fucking wrong. Baking is not like an exact science. This is literally why I said baking is very difficult. It's not like cooking, okay? That's why there's like an entirely separate chef that deals with it usually. And not only that, but this is precisely the reason why I said that, because you have to get everything right. Baking is the closest to chemistry out of all the different ways of making food. But this is precisely what I fucking mean.
Refrigerator before serving it. I'm sorry, this is a poorly executed dish. I'm aware.
It's almost as if you stopped halfway through and assembled the dish and presented it. A little strange.
I cannot believe, from what you've done in this competition, that you would come up with something as bad as that. It's a mess, and it's a great shame. Damn.
It's so hard. It's so hard for me to hear how disappointed he is. I'm so disappointed by this dish already, and I'm just like crushed. I think this is a challenge that
I'm a literal 9-year chef. I refuse to interact with sweets because I don't want to be a scientist for work. I've never baked a single fucking thing in my life. I can make steaks. I can make fucking chicken 7 different ways to Sunday. You know, all different kinds of chicken I can make. You know, I know the basics. I've never even made a cookie, dude. Like, it's nuts.
that is gonna send me home.
Jenny Kelly, will you join us up here?
Hi there.
Hi. What is it?
It is a tart.
Bro, literally everyone fucked up. Unless this is actually, is it fully cooked?
Infused the tart with coffee.
Is it supposed to look like that? What is that?
It's not cooked all the way through. I put it in too late.
So it's raw.
It's not fit. I don't think it's totally raw, but it's the top's edible.
Well, the opposite of being cooked is raw, right? So it's raw.
Bro, you can't tell me this motherfucker's not misogynistic, okay?
Ugh.
Oh!
Okay. I mean, excuse me. It's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment for you, and it's an embarrassment for this competition. 90 minutes, Jenny. 90 minutes.
I apologize that you guys are even trying it.
If you had any sense, you'd stage a trip up and smash the plate on the way up here, because that is hideous. You should come with a health warning sign. I just expect a little bit more, especially at this stage of the competition. I'm really sorry.
At this stage of the challenge, when there's only this many of you left, this is just unacceptable. This
He literally, I know that they're supposed to be disappointed in them and stuff, but I can't help but imagine that they're mad because they don't get to taste delicious treats. Like, at this stage, I want my dessert. Like, I feel like they're mad, but not because like they're disappointed, but more so they just sound like they haven't gotten delicious sweet treats yet. I want my yummy desserts.
cannot fly, and it has to end here at this challenge.
Putting up food that's not cooked, that's ill-conceived, is dangerous. That is reckless.
I'm pissed off. We give you every tool that's possible to make you guys shine, and me, do we want you to shine? I swear to God. But when like that hits the plate, I feel like giving up. I feel like giving up. I feel like giving up.
You said it 3 times, bro.
I just expect a little bit more, especially at this stage of the competition. I'm really sorry.
When there's only this many of you left,
It's over. It's over. The season is over. I'm done. I'm not doing it any longer. Feel like giving up. Top of the fucking hour, yeah? And it's time for another 60-second ad break. I know I ran one 25 minutes ago, but I feel like I've given up. I'm making up for all the lost ads. You'd like to no longer see the ads. If you want an ad-free broadcasting experience, all you need to do is get a gifted sub. And if you're not lucky, then all you need to do is buy your own luck with $5. Or if you do not have $5, all you need to do is subscribe for free with a Twitch Prime. If that was a segue, it was probably the worst one. Bro, fuck you, dude. Okay. Thank you, Bilbo Maggot. And Justice the Ghost. Here's the ad break.
This is just unacceptable. And it has to end here at this challenge.
Tracy, will you come join us?
After the most disappointing day ever in the MasterChef kitchen, can Tracy put everything back on track?
All right, what do we got?
It is an espresso chocolate flourless cake. It's covered with a caramel sauce and a very, very light dusting of coffee beans with a little bitter chocolate.
Wow, this is amazing.
You've combined the sort of toffee and the caramelized toffee with the coffee, and it really works. That dessert is the kind of dessert I'd love to see on my menu in my restaurant in London, because it's got that wow factor. Delicious. Well done. Okay, Esther, let's go.
After Tracy's dessert changed the mood in the kitchen.
I'm gonna be honest, I think flourless cake is just kind of whack. Your accent is embarrassing me, my British friend. Please stop and never let it happen again. Suck my fucking cock, dude.
Can the remaining home cooks keep it that way?
What is that, please?
It's a warm coffee cheesecake.
A coffee cheesecake, okay. Here's the thing.
You're kind of whack. Who goes out the bat for flourless cake like this? Like, what are you, ride or die for fucking flourless cake? It just tastes like, ironically, it kind of tastes like flour. It tastes like you're just eating raw flour. Just, oh yeah, I love eating dust. I love eating dusty ass cake. I've just never had, it's like dense ass cake dust. I've just never had flourless cake where it's good, dude. You have no idea what you're talking about? Non-baking ass. Flourless cake technically doesn't even consider, it's not considered baking, I think.
It actually tastes delicious. It's got that wow factor. Doesn't give you instant impression that it's going to bounce off the palate visually, but the creamy texture of the tart is immaculate. That is delicious. Great job.
Okay, Susie, come on up.
I've got a chocolate coffee brownie, chocolate hand-rolled truffles.
Invalidating vegan bakers? The fuck does flour have anything to do with veganism? What do you think flour is made with? I think you mean gluten-free. Also, Susie! Stop making a fucking quadruple beam challenge.
Chocolate.
It's like annoying. She has to fucking straight up flex every time.
Hand-rolled truffles.
Mix of cocoa powder and ground espresso. So you get the chocolate, the sweet, the bitter, all those kind of things. It's super rich and decadent. Good job.
Jennifer, what do you have?
I have coffee creme brulee with a little bit of white chocolate in there, and then I did a little bit of macerated raspberries over the top to cut that richness of the cream.
People are going to get mad at me for saying this as well because I have a fire food taste, but I do not like creme brulee with fruit. I think creme brulee in and of itself is great.
It definitely has a pronounced flavor of both coffee and white chocolate. And in fact, the berries do a nice job of bringing it up.
Right.
Quite light and, quite frankly, pretty good.
Thank you.
Alvin. The final contestant in the elimination.
Look at this. Look at this. Ararari, 19-month subscriber. Been here for 1.5 years. Moron food takes Omega Lyle. Like so horny to fucking come out of the gate swinging that he couldn't even write Omega Lol. Said I'm a fucking moron.
Challenge is Alvin.
Oh, that scared me. I thought that was me.
Alvin is amazing. So intelligent. He knows so much about food. I really think Alvin's going to be in the top 5.
Inside the beignet is coffee with chicory brewed pretty strong, mixed with sodium
Oh my God. Oh my God. Fuck. Oh, I love beignets so much. Oh, I can't. I wish I could taste that.
And that's set to cool, and that's dropped into a calcium chloride bath, which sets a gel around the sauce.
What is that?
It's the coffee sauce, Chef.
It's extraordinary bitter. There's like a coffee blood clot.
No, she's so excited. She can't even hide it. She couldn't even hide it. Look.
There's like a coffee blood clot.
Watch. Oh. Oh, that sucks. Get fucked. Look, she cracks a smile in the end.
I think the resting time may have set more of the alginate base than I would have liked.
It's not because it's been sitting. It's the fact that it was wrong before it even got put in there. At my restaurant, we use some of these techniques, you know, but we never go around and try to trumpet that we're using it because it works and it speaks for itself. But things like this give what I personally do day in and day out a bad name.
Oh no. Not Graham, bro. Oh no. Graham said there's no tubby allegiance here, okay? It's like big dudes have an alliance, okay? Tall dudes, big dudes. It was like, I'm breaking it. I'm violating it, dude. This food broke the code of conduct. This is tubby on tubby violence. I'm breaking the alliance. It's over. If you disappoint Graham, like, what are you? Like, Joe's already a dickhead.
Whether it's got a cool ingredient or a technique or not, that's just bad food. It's weird. Disgusting.
Oh.
With all the dishes tasted,
This is what
the
your stream
judges
feels
must
like?
decide the bottom 3, one of which
Butthole boy. Fuck society. Fuck our society. Double chocolate brownie crunch review. Fuck society part 2. It's literally my stream. This dude is biting my whole fucking style.
will be eliminated. First, they'll reveal today's top 2 dishes.
Okay, across that tasting, we had some highs and lows. But there were some real highs. The top 2 will become team captains ahead of our next challenge. Good luck.
I said weight class trader. Fuck, that's funny. Yeah, exactly. That's a weight class trader.
That first dish belongs to Esther.
Thank you. Did he call my name? Did he just say Esther? Serious? What?
Good job.
I'm shocked. I'll take a win. I'll take a win.
The second dish that was done to perfection. That dish belongs to Tracy. Congratulations.
Tracy is definitely not going home today. Not today, people.
Congratulations, Esther. Tracy, congratulations. Good job. This is a elimination test.
Low-key, Esther is also fucking taking some blows. You know what I mean? She's like, she's stuck by some weird rounds. A lot of them got, I don't really know how a lot of them got in, like, to this degree. I feel like there were some really talented people that just like left. ETS still off, homie. Okay, I'm turning it back on. Chill the fuck out, dude. Wait, hold on. Who said that? Dingo Slayer. What's up, Dingo Slayer? Did you want me to read? Hasi, can't you see? The way you stream just hypnotizes me, and I just love your communist ways. I guess that's why they broke and you so paid. Heart. Is that what you wanted, Dingo Slayer? Is that what you wanted me to hear?
Chat, I deflowered your mom's cake.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, dude. Fucking got him. He did that. He deflowered your mom's cake. Thank Dingo Slayer. Now you know.
With that comes a departure. And we're going to single out the 3 dishes that we strongly believe deserve to be in the bottom. And at least one of you will be leaving MasterChef.
1 year with my cracking boat.
The first dish that wasn't up to par belongs to Jenny. Step forward, please. At this stage in the competition, when there's elimination up, trust me, you want to cook your ass off. Today, you didn't do that.
Can't you see the way you
The
scream
second
just
dish
hypnotizes
was
me, and I
almost to
just
the
love
point
your
of being
communist
offensive.
ways. I guess that's why they broke and you so paid. Less than 3.
Thank you.
My bark like an
That
operatic
dish
ballad,
belongs
your
to
bark
Alvin.
like grandpa's cabbage.
Knowing when to use restraint, when to come back inside the box, important stuff.
Yes, chef.
The third dish was poor in its conceptualization and really rancid in its flavor. And that dish belongs to
It's kind of cool when they all fuck up, though. Like, low-key, when they all fuck up together, it's still kind of cool. It's good content. Because, like, if someone was just, like, clearly the loser, and then the other dudes were just, like, cracked, it wouldn't be as fun. You know? You know?
In tonight's elimination challenge, the judges have already chosen 2 of the worst 3 dishes. Ultimately, one home cook will be leaving the competition.
the third dish was poor in its conceptualization and really rancid in its flavor. Max, why don't you come up and take your spot? You succeeded in creating one of the most disgusting things that perhaps I've ever tasted.
This is a elimination test. With that comes a
Hassie,
departure.
Hassie, can't you see
Okay.
the way you scream just hypnotizes me? And you just
Jenny,
love your
step
communist
forward.
ways. I guess that's why they broke and you so paid. Less than 3.
You had one of the worst
Thank you, Kenny Page, for the thank you for the subs.
dishes of the day. But there were 2 dishes worse than yours back in line.
Chat was about to do fucking crimes, dude. You guys are literally, You make fun of me and you
My
say
last
that
name
like
is your
I'm a
first
simp,
name.
right?
Does that mean you're my dad?
You make fun of me and you say I'm a fucking simp, and then the first time there's a cute lady with bangs, you lose your goddamn minds, dude. Straight up. Straight the
6
fuck
months,
up.
baby.
Alvin and Max, based on this elimination test, the worst dish of the day.
Dude, shut up. My type is hot women. She's my type. Dude, my type is not hot women.
Best desert is
That
Cunha for
person
best desert
will
is
be
Cunha
leaving
for best desert
MasterChef.
is Cunha for best desert is Cunha for best desert is Cunha for.
The inner voice in my head is just saying, please, please, please let it be Max. Let me stay and prove to you guys what I can do.
Alvin is asking 100% to be eliminated. Even though my dessert was flawed, at least it was a true dish without chemicals and chemistry and wizardry.
That dish belongs to Alvin.
Why must people attack me like this? Can I just, we're having fun with chat. Okay? We're having fun with chat. We're just going back and forth, you know, we're just having fun. And then someone's got to go, is that why you don't have a girlfriend? Why do you have to dagger me right in the fucking heart, dude? Huh?
Hassie, can't you see? The way you stream just hypnotizes me, and I just love your communist ways. I guess that's why they broken you so paid. Never gonna give
Please
you up.
take your apron
Never
off.
gonna let you down.
Your time is done in MasterChef. I think you're courageous, but you must understand the basics before you become adventurous. Get that right, and you can be an exciting cook.
I fucking hate this, dude. I hate it so much. I hate like the gastronomy science
you know,
bullshit.
Called, it sucked.
But
sort of
he won me
instant
over.
Snap back to reality that the dream of being the next MasterChef has ended. But it's been an unbelievable experience, and it's something that I'll take with me forever. So I thank them for the opportunity and walk back to my station, take my apron off.
Stop. 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 He's like holding back tears.
Hassle.
Everyone in that room was devastated when Alvin got sent home. Completely out of left field.
You? Back on your station.
Thank you, Chef.
Lucky today, Max.
I think that Alvin has more talent in his pinky than Max has, like, that he'll have in his entire life.
There's only...
I hate to admit this, Susie is. I hate to report that Susie is 100% correct on this. Okay, 100% correct on this.
Bing bong.
You know, that's all I got. Actually, she's correct.
14 of you left. Why are you all looking so miserable? Christine, why are you crying?
I came for
I don't know.
taco, stayed for 90 days.
Because I'm just happy to be here, man.
Oh, good.
I want it, man.
Game on. Give yourselves a round of applause, for God's sake. Okay, get some rest, because you're going to need it.
Bye-bye.
Well done.
Next time on MasterChef.
Welcome to...
All right, spoilers. Would you ever date a Jewish girl? The real Barbie doll's been asking this the entire time. I have. One of my ex-girlfriends is Israeli. What a strange question. Just ask over and over again. Oh. Would you date a Jew? Just asking for a friend. Please tell you would date a Jewish girl. I would convert just for you. You're so sexy.
Hassie, can't you see? The way you stream just hypnotizes me. And I just
HasanAbi
love
fell
your
for idea of
communist
propaganda.
ways.
First of
I
all,
guess that's
fucked
why
up
they
of you to
broken
assume
so
that, like,
paid.
just because someone is Israeli, that they would be, like, pro-IDF. So, you know. Not true. El Yang 68. Thank you for the 10 gift the subs. And she was not.
Much love, comrade. Any book
Account created 8 hours ago. Chat, she said for a friend. Clearly, it's not for her. That doesn't count tri-state area, only Jewish girls. Would you date a Florida man? No. I'd date a Florida woman, though. Anyway. I have secondhand embarrassment. Okay, listen. Listen.
Let me get pregnant by you, Hasan Summer.
No. El Niang 68, thank you for the 10 gift the subs. I gotta go. That's what I was gonna say. I don't know why I've been waiting this long for it. I gotta hit the 3-minute ad break here. I have a dinner.
Hi, Hasan, say it back.
My agent is leaving his agency. So I am, meeting up with a bunch of people. And I got some business deals, decisions to make,
Bing bong.
Not that, anything will change here, but can you bookmark the MasterChef playlist? Okay, bro. I'll fucking, you know what? I'll bookmark it, dude. How do you bookmark again? Is it star? Bookmark this tab, okay? There you go, dude. Okay. Actually, I'll bookmark this tab instead. Hold on. Anyway, let's run the 3-minute ad break here. Dude, I'm such a boomer. I forgot to fucking... I literally forgot to bookmark. Like, I forgot how to bookmark, dude. Wait, but Mario Kart? Dude, I said I'm going to play Mario Kart, not tonight. I'm going to play Mario Kart with Arya and Iman, most likely on Friday, okay? Stop giving clout to the panhandlers? What do you mean?
It was all a dream. Donos, shut up so I can watch the stream.
You're going to eat again? No, I ate before dinner because I don't like eating out. The reason why I ate now, like literally right before I went to dinner, is because I don't like eating when I go out.
Poop sock.
Because I have no control over what fucking I'm putting in my body. Like, wow, you're that guy? Yeah, I am that guy. It's also like business related, okay? Like a
Max is proof
cheap
that Jared
fuck?
Kushner can bear children.
What? No, dude, it has nothing telling me I'm cheap at fucking meals. What? You know who you're talking to, bro? What the fuck? I'm Mr. fucking $900 Wagyu. What the fuck are you talking about? No, it's not. It's not. It has nothing to do with being cheap, and everything to do with I'm Mr. $900 Wagyu, which is precisely why I can't fucking go out and eat. Eating out is a nightmare for counting calories. Yeah.
Take this sussy.
I can't count calories when I eat out. And so I obviously do and end up eating out. from time to time because I don't want to be like a fucking weirdo shut-in. Because it's also like a really fun experience to have with people. Right? That's why you don't have a girlfriend?
Hassle, hassle.
I don't like this. Okay? I don't like being attacked like this.
Hassle, 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 hassle.
If you count calories, you have a pretty good idea of what carb value most of eating out has. I've been successfully counting calories for like 5-6 years now. And you are just flat out wrong. You never know how much butter the fucking chef puts in whatever the fuck kind of food they're making, dude. You're just wrong. Straight up wrong. You never know how to count calories at a restaurant. Fine dining equals butter is just true. That is how it's done. That is how it do be. Like. Okay.
Hassle, hassle, hassle.
Anyway. All right, that'll be all for tonight. That's right. Let's figure out where we're taking you. Hold on then.
Hassy, 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 thanks for the stream. I wish you were done ban me. I keep watching and I'm sorry. Your streams are still poggers.
Thanks, man. Okay.
Hassle.
All right, guys. Send you over to Nassau again. Love you all. And I will see you tomorrow.
Can I get a what?
My parents are coming soon. Mom and dad. All right, good night.